when you show up to your favorite rambling streamer and they're hitting you with the 2 times speed fucking liturgy out the gate at 1 a.m. on a Tuesday. I'm just different like that. So far, the characterizations I'm seeing, ramble prone, I'd say. I definitely think Trixie the Golden Witch is a ramble prone character innately, because it's where all my rambling goes. Well, not all of it. I can be brought into a ramble offline or outside of character, outside of being Trixie. But generally, I don't talk very much, so it tends to be that my rambling happens here. What you just saw there, where I was just kind of staring into space, listening to really fast music and smoking, that's more of my normal state of being, outside of the rambling. We all know Trixie is type 9 in the Enneagram. Let's remind ourselves, what the fuck does that mean? So obviously I said so.
You do have all.
It sounded like he was about to say you do have autism, didn't it? Okay, I have my fucking volume way too high. Let's kick this up to... How high does the speed go? Only 2x? Okay.
Storytelling implications. For those of you who were born under a fucking rock, every single human being on this planet has bullshit. Big surprise, I know. But one day, John Enneagram said, what if we identify the different types of bullshit and assign numbers to them? And that's how the Enneagram was born. 9 primary types of bullshit were identified. While you do have all 9 types of bullshit inside of you, as you matured into the person you are now, one type of bullshit inevitably rose above the others and took over as commander-in-chief of your brain. The type of bullshit that took over your brain is thought to have something to do with your childhood experiences, specifically the ways in which you learned to get your needs met. If you were raised in an environment where love was conditional on success, you might have grown up to be obsessed with succeeding, because your subconscious mind realized, okay, I have to succeed or I'll die. And your conscious mind was like, Betsky, my dude, and now you're missing your daughter's dance recital because Jeff from management called, and that promotion is more important than life itself. But 9s are tough to do this exercise with because their compulsion is passivity. Their whole issue is not being able to do anything. At least that's what it looks like. But when it comes to 9s, I'm going to...
Yeah, here we go. Exactly. This is what I'm talking about. Outside of the rambling, this is my more natural state of of being, is staring up emptily. With with meet me in outer space playing in my head. How do you do it? Make me feel like I do.
To invite you to see their issue, not as not being strong enough, but as being too strong, in a sense, too durable. The body stores so much information, but it doesn't really have the vocabulary to communicate.
Yeah, it's like when you're wearing 3 Gundams. Like you've put on 3... Just get up in the morning and put on 3 Gundams.
That information. So all we get is a gut impulse. And gut types primarily view the world through the lens of those gut impulses. Those gut impulses steer the ship for them.
Yes, that too, also. I'm all about my gut. Lately, I've been punishing my gut with... yesterday, particularly last night, I ate like entirely too many Cheez-Its, and I was feeling that pain. I should not have introduced Cheez-Its back into my gut environment. It's too late in the year for that already.
Them a lot of the time, and while the 8 and
my body still thinks it's cold outside because it's still like kind of getting warm, But I don't need a fucking pound of Cheez-Its inside of me.
And have impulses to control and subjugate the situation. The 9's gut has a different response. The 9 simply hardens to tolerate the punishment over and over again. The 9 complex is what it means to have thick skin. A person who grew up in a pit of deficiency and basically learned, there's no ladder up out of this. I just have to get used to it.
See, this is what I call the internet. You merely adopted the darkness. I was born in it. Ooh, that's my Bane. Hello, it's a Bane. You merely adopted the darkness. You sent a request on Cash App. Let's check that out. Thank you, Josh. Where is my Cash App? Here is my Cash App. $38. What does the message say? Read 8 to 10 of my all poetry poems on a stream. Okay, how do I get to those? Will I just easily find those in Discord? Send me a Discord DM with a link to your poems, and I will do that.
to it. But then when you actually do lower a ladder down, the 9 can't see it. They've convinced themselves that it doesn't exist, that there's no way out for little old me. But it's okay, I'm fine down here. And so the quintessential 9 story is about a person taking initiative and climbing out of the pit. It's about a person standing up for themselves and going after what they want. Now, this has nothing to do with overcoming fear, and it's not really about self-esteem or self-love either. That's what the 3s get wrong when they try to sell these people. The 9 arc is about finding a deep physical passion within that they buried for so long because they were convinced it wasn't useful, and now they have to rise up and fight for themselves and others. In my opinion, the most crystal clear 9 in fiction is Rocky Balboa. Rocky encapsulates my understanding of the 9 because he's not unconfident or afraid. He's a heavyweight boxer. He has a day job breaking thumbs for loan sharks. He doesn't panic. He does whatever he wants. But it's that resignation. It's that sense of I'm a bum. It's the way it is, which has become his defense mechanism. He's been stuck in the same ditch for years because his body decided, hey, getting used to this seems like our best strategy. So Rocky just rolls with the punches, literally. But then he's presented with that ladder of opportunity, and the story is about him finding the anger and the passion and the willingness to go after something better. And he does, and it's awesome. The Western concept of motivation.
That's the best Bane impression anyone's ever done. I forgot already about that. Ooh, it's Bane. I can't remember another Bane line. It would be extremely painful for you. Catching up pilot on YouTube from L's Mark. Okay. We'll get to that as well. I don't know if this is explicitly a request stream, but I will take requests because, frankly, I like money. Okay, what poems? We want poems. Okay, here we go. Pics. I've never used this website before. Allpoetry.com. Interesting. It's got an odd. It's interesting that it's like got like it's advertisement for me to try to join the website like so prominently above the actual content that I was trying to get to. It was confusing for a second. Lapusha with an extra $10 says, I hate it. So you're talking about this pilot. You want me to watch a thing you hate is what you're telling me, right? Gary, what are you talking about? The super chat request you're the second most proud of. Go back. No, on my page. Oh, this is not. Oh, I see. Oh, that just takes you to some. How do I? Oh, okay. I had to scroll down. Again, this is a very oddly laid out website. It's confusing me that it keeps jumping from the left to the middle. You see what I mean? Like when I scroll below, when I get below this thing here, it moves the whole page to the right. I've never seen a website do that before. Okay. All right. Let me read a bunch of these poems. Silence. To long for the refrain of the notes of corporeal particles, a song that proves I am, I was, I will, sent to the silence of time, the waited for presence, the shuddering vibrations of the horizon. Do these notes entwine into chords, enveloping waves of embrace, or, singing over a fragile face, bleeding away the murmur of the trace that streams into time's sea? Effervescent glimpses from below, new chimes pop away the blinks. As the heart beats blood across space, boiling into action at a distance, getting more distant from the future, desire folds into itself. A grasp so tight it flattens into another, more useless, hand. Draw a trajectory, a fate and a goal, where vibrations align in a line and penetrate the enigmatic future. But instead the hand is cut by that very pen, her, him, time, so silent, without that bubbly song. Damn. Yeah, okay. I like that. Reminded me of a lyric by the Deer Hunter where they sing, and the right hand hates the left, and the sea's upset with the sky. But we press on, press on, press on, press on, in spite of the spite. Okay, anyway. Endless dance of the profane spirits. Lonely shreds of the fateless depth of time. fateless if fate is the end, rather than the ever-present genesis of forgetting. The silent refrain of distance, where shards of transience connect across the great gap, a sea of shadows plunged into through love or pain. Sacredness wishes to sink into this depth endlessly, the peaceful abyss of eternity. Yet, profane spirits of the earth take silence into their own hands, emptying the refrain of depth as their fragile wings cross into the turbulent cacophony of the sky. True love is not afraid of heights, the reckless birds which flee the nest to deform or transfigure from the purity of memory into the shudder of uncertainty's dance. Look back for but a moment as my wings will speak more than my face, as love will call to me from behind and ahead, my smooth light existence testifies forward. For the dreams I pass into the wind as I wish not to dust them into your eyes. The distance of the future and distance of the past, the lines drew between them, form the outline of your profane spirit. Do you surrender this profanity to unconscious sleep, where memories close the mouth of particularity into the throat of holy shadows? Or do you draw the line farther into the sky, an arrow of goalless, reckless longing, preserved nothing but the spreading silence of the preserved nothing but the speeding silence of the present. An ever-opened mouth breathing in the dangerous shards of the sky as the air ejects out its other and under its jaws. Jaws become wings rolling over, pulsating forward to look back at ever-consumed distance. Two jaws entwine, one rolls above to gust forward, one rolls below to look back. Yet, their roles reverse. This tenuous reversal repeats, and the jaws enter a delicate dance. Spontaneous improvised music which sings into the future. Entwined jaws are wings, riding the same endless future which ends her riders, whence they become unworthy of this turbulent sky. I believe love is worthy of this sky. Love will survive without eternal guarantee, a risk for but a particle of profane existence which slips into the endless sublimity of the sky. Yeah. So what stream is this? Lapusha asked. It's the Characterize Me stream. Hence the title. It's the stream where you characterize me. Figure out who is my character? What am I about? What do I do? What is this character? Imagine I'm a fictional character. How would you describe this fictional character if you were explaining to someone the nature of them? So far, the answers I've gotten have been that I am ramble prone, which is definitely true of this character that I play here on this channel. Although less so than maybe it used to be, or at the very least, I'm more like aware of when I'm doing it, I guess. More in control of the ramble. And then, yeah, it was pointed out that I've talked about being an Enneagram 9. So we were watching the Enneagram 9 explained video from Local Script Man. But I'm also reading these poems at the request of Josh Wiley because they are also relevant in a way. I don't think that these don't characterize me. Am I a hippie? Yes, I would say so. I did make you are a walking, talking identity crisis. Interesting. Yeah, I think I've come to understand who I am a lot better. It's the difficulty I have in expressing it in a way that will bring anybody else up to speed that I struggle with currently. Like, I don't feel that I currently struggle a crisis of identity, because I feel as though I found out who I am, especially last year after being with my parents for a year again. Like, because there's certain things that I kind of assume about myself that then prove to be true or untrue under observation, you know? And so, like, by the end of this past year, I really felt like okay, I know exactly who I am. Nobody else does, though. Like, nobody else understands who I am enough that I can have, like, helpful interactions with them about what I'm trying to do. Because when I explain to people what I'm trying to do, nobody seems to understand what the fuck I'm talking about. And so I feel like somehow there's something missing. There's something between how I understand myself and how other people understand me is just not clicking. And it's why nobody knows how to help me do what I'm trying to do, you know? And I'm like, to me, it seems obvious because I am me and I'm thinking about myself all the time. But I can easily forget, what have I actually said? You know, like, what have I said out loud? What have I told people about myself? What do people think about me? You know, when I'm not streaming for a day, you know, like, what do people think I'm doing or think I'm thinking about, you know? Interesting. Jane said, if I were to say Trixie's the safe kind of edgy where people can listen to get out of their community's bubble, but also have the space to develop their own identity. Interesting. I think whether or not you find what I do to feel safe really depends on who you are. I think you feel safe because I am, like, pro-trans, and if you weren't that, this would not feel safe to you, you know? Like, this, if you're anti-trans, this is not a safe space. I was gonna say that characterization now reflective of your whole career up until very recently. Now it seems more like a branding question. Yeah, like, that's, I guess that's what I'm going for, but I don't think of myself as a brand in that way. As I'm not as interested in, like, how do I make more money as how do I tell the best story? And I need people to understand, like, I guess I need to understand what story people expect me to tell. You know, like, what character do you think I am? What is my story supposed to be about? You know, like, what is it supposed to? Older sister type beat from Shitty Kickflips. That's incredible. Thank you. I love to hear it. I do, in fact, have two little brothers, one now living with me. So I'm deep in my big sis bag pretty much all the time. Let me read some more of these poems real quick, and then I will continue reading more of what's being said in the chat, because I don't want to end up rambling and forgetting that I have some requests here, but these are also good. The arrow, the invisible day, our hands could have graced the flowers, like the sun, sea, or the pollen on a bee, beyond counting the stem against the pinky or the thumb, against the thrust of a nostril that eats the petals down a memory become. A body of cuts and lines, a hand which plunders for the eyes, a mind which eats the turbulence of the skies and calls the entire earth mine. Return to that invisible day where roses grew without distance into the vision which has forgotten eyes, into the touch which incarnates contact, and into a mind which gravitates along whims of the gods, not mine, not yours, but only ours, amongst ours. The turning of the moon sitting above all towers, the setting of the sun farther than hands grasp, the setting of the sun, a machine which eats light. Those eyelashes were fangs. Was it only a matter of time? When nature would shoot the knee and spine straight into the sky, a missile of defiance against entropic divide, a union united in unison to you and your son, to fire order in the spirals of the sun. Was there a reason this finger can be a gun? Was this finger to be but a gun? What was evolution firing at the stars? Ooh, I love that line. What was evolution firing at the stars? What am I firing at the stars? My eyes have already eaten the past. My eyes already have their wide tongues on the future. The future? Yeah, see, this is where I'm at right now. What am I firing at the stars? My eyes have already eaten the past. My eyes already have their wide tongues on the future. The future? Question mark. This is pretty much exactly what the point of this stream is. What am I firing at the stars? What was evolution firing at the stars? Through me. You know, what did, you know, if I'm being as I am a current human, I must be at the most, as, you know, as evolved as you can be without being the next generation. You know, much like judo. That means this is not anime, by the way, if you didn't know that. Here we go. This is what I want. That's me, Judo Ashta. The final stage of human evolution, a true new type. What am I firing at the stars through evolution? Let me read some more. Oh, hey, it's a super chat. It probably doesn't make sense to anyone but me, but I've always characterized you as a little sister. Looking back, I was probably picking up on Pluto. Well, and that makes sense as well because you are actually older than me. And I have, so aside from myself being an older sister, I always had someone to look up to growing up because, like, my cousin Boyd, who's 4 years older than me, was at various points around quite a bit through different parts of my childhood, and most of my taste comes from like copying Boyd because he just infinitely was looking for stuff. I think, you know, both of us very much have this like similar dissociative tendencies, but I think he was even more like intense, you know, and so he was constantly seeking out media to escape into, and he liked, you know, weird, fucked up, tragic kind of stuff even more so than I did. You know, when he got into anime, he was looking for like fucking everything Yoshiaki Kawajiri had done, and you know, all of the like Eroguro type stuff that I was totally afraid of, you know. As a kid, I liked anime for the fact that it had like long-haired boys in it, you know. And they're like fighting, but nobody really dies. Nobody important ever dies. I mean, unless it's like in a really tragic, epic way that's, you know, that's like fulfilling. But yeah, like the scary stuff was above my head. But again, always having someone older than me that was interested in that stuff made me curious about it. Made me think, well, like I can take this on as long as I've got somebody, else who can sort of laugh at it and, you know, point out why it's not real or scary, you know. I never would have tried psychedelics if not for the fact that he had told me, like, the key when you're on psychedelics is to remember that none of it's real. Just as long as you understand that, like, yeah, I know I'm on psychedelics. I know nothing that's happening is real. If you keep that mentality, you'll be fine through it. I think I quote that at the start of one of my songs. Actually, no, I made a music video for this one. A really good music video, so I'm gonna play it. Because this counts as characterize. I characterize myself all the time, but I feel like a lot of the times the way I characterize myself has a strong disconnect with the expectation of me. And this is me, I mean, characterizing myself through Fujiko AMV. So obviously I'm not like a super hot international woman of mystery like Fujiko, but I did start traveling around the United States working in banks for a year after this, so whatever. My cousin told me that the key to having a good trip is just to keep in mind that none of the shit that you're seeing is real. It's all inside your mind. That applies to all sorts of trips I've found. I'm a renegade. 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 I'm saying I'm a renegade, but it kind of sounds like I'm saying I'm a rent-a-gay. Smoke is in the arrow. How you know I'm narrow? Shooting like an arrow. Feeling like the heroin. Stay away from heroin, but far from straight and narrow. Hello, hello, hello. Never really mellow. With some flower yellow. Power mouth and bellow. Little booty jello. Lady, not a fellow. Moody, booty, snooty, groovy, and I'm feeling swellow. I'm a renegade, I don't fucking fucking renegade. I'm a renegade. I'm a fucking renegade. I'm a renegade. I'm a fucking. I'm the only bitch in South LA outside without umbrellas. I'm not about to lose a single day to fucking weather. I'm a renegade. I believe blooming even in the shade. Zooming through the Palisades, smoking on some Everglades. What is there to say? Not so much I can relate. Every single day I feel a bit more strange. I find a bit more range in how I am deranged, and yet I keep it flames like you do it that way. Okay, I'm a renegade. I'm a fucking renegade. I'm a renegade. I'm a fucking renegade.
Yeah, I like that song.
I'm a fucking renegade. This is my favorite one from that album, I think. Traveling Cemetery. The one with the dead lady in the fucking car on the on the cover. Okay. I'm gonna read a couple more poems and then answer more questions and then eventually get to Laputia's request. Was there another request to watch something besides Laputia's? No, it's just the Josh Wiley poems and Laputia's video request. Yes. Brr. And then I will also address some of the things y'all have been saying in chat. I'm the most patient live streamer. I'll circle back to that live streamer. Denial. Frail grip on the bridge held on the other edge, jittering perhaps fallen through my brake. Hold on, let me start this over. Frail grip on the bridge, held on the other edge, jittering perhaps, fallen through my brake. A quick judgment has already passed the bias of eons. Unease is life, displaced metabolism of the beasts, the ordeal of diets, lines, and rage. Bad digestion weighs on the back of eyes, rolling back on its imbalanced weight, or resisting the glare into center view. Bad digestion weighs on the back of eyes, only her view is waste when he was caught on a view unwanted. Whisper up his hair, the memories stink, as the skin tastes like... The skin tastes the cheesy vitriol. Whiskers cut down with them a chin sinks. Erased are the seas that futures stood tall. Whisper up his hair, the memories stink, as the skin tastes the cheesy vitriol. Whiskers cut down with them a chin sinks. Erased are the seas that futures stood tall. These are fucking bars. Like, these... I want to hear, like, somebody mentioned like Dance Gavin Dance earlier, and while I'm not a fan of that band, I agree that these would be great lyrics for like a post-hardcore band or something, or like the Mars Volta or something, you know, like whisper up his hair, the memories stink, as the skin tastes the cheesy vitriol. Whiskers cut down them with the chin sinks erased. Some shit, I don't know. That's more of a Coheed and Cambria, but this is kind of what Coheed and Cambria lyrics are like written like. They also have a song called Far. I don't think it's going to be like this one though. Horizon, oh depth which entangles the hand. Concentration, out to the hand. No, out to fuck. Sorry. Horizon, oh depth which entangles the hand. Concentration, out to the sign of a sea's omnipresent surface. Pressures speak around the idol. Artisan tossed around the diameters of 1,000 pupils, the moving transparent edge, the depth of the shadow's throat. O divine air, does your depth hunger like mine? Or are you the pure surface of lonely particles? Small, I fear being spread and small like the verminous colonies. Ooh, I fear being spread and small like the verminous colonies. That's a great fucking bar there. Among the workloaders, slavery. Have I found any wholeness in my life but in a hole? Falling, the autumn coming of education's refrain. out the door to the breeze which carries an organism's remains, leading the same truth papered over with 5 trillion facts. But which tree did the westward leaf blow in from? She seems far from the school, or far from a future written for the north. I will want to go far. Hmm. 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 Hey, it takes muscles to smile. I remember hearing this one read on video. Please, for my sake and yours, stop being ashamed of your own smile. Use the strength it pushes up to hold your heart back into the sky. And remember how much you have carried so far and the worth of your irreplaceable existence that illuminates my life so much. And let it for a second illuminate your own as well. It takes muscles to smile, and I believe in your strength. The joy is as free as you are, so let the wings spread as their muscles reach for the sky. It's true, it's free joy. And every time you smile and have smiled, the lips on each side were hands, holding every future smile in their tight grip. The distance you stood from yourself was the gap of seeing your grin in the mirror. Made other to yourself, you can finally be generous in your greed, for that guiltless release will set you free. Let tears of joy flow as you see your own glory. It takes muscles to smile, and I believe in your strength. The joy is as free as you are, so let the wings spread as their muscles reach for the sky. I do think it would be a good experiment. I think pretty much any human being could probably smile at themselves in the mirror until it made themselves cry. Like if you put someone to the task of like, hey, keep smiling in this mirror until you cry. I don't think it would take most people under an hour to just start like crying from staring at their own smile too much. Even if it's just from the physical pain of having held the smile for so fucking long. At some point, tears will flow. Association's poem Why. Divine competitions eternal for Greek machinations of Hades. Olympic sport complacency nations schemed first. Difficult rowing suffice we call originality. Uneasy orifice ecology. Arrive. A newfound space. One amphibian sonar system. Early morning lies ants in pirate technology. Redundant sunlight sleeping queen motivation singularity. No, I couldn't really follow the line of association, but it was very satisfying to say all those words in order. A personal confession on the refrain of life's purity. Sun's embrace between trees, mound of dirt, my summit of faith, this spacely, homely place, behind fenced-up chlorine and concrete, atomized star of youth, my day of ritual, the glory of savored sacred time, spontaneous, a revelation, the silent purity of life calls me to speak through my throbbing heart, a refrain of affirmation. I cannot even believe I am alive, how full this is, the perfection to merely be. A paraphrase of heart's refrain, the meaning of thought, the distance life stood from itself in the mirror, when thought was too innocent to saturate this silence with insecure clatter. Ooh, when thought was too innocent to saturate this silence with insecure clatter. I too remember childhood. Vaguely, a child's experience of life. This refrain of sacred life comes mostly in madness these days, in the rebellious spirit of in the rebellious spirit, no cogito can. What is cogito? The philosophical principle, I think, therefore I am. Oh, okay. Cogito ergo sum. I see. Tame to its beat, its scattershot noise of pop ensembles, cutting life's rhythms through the guillotine of social meter, insecure and judged as a man's experience of life. The smile, the teardrop of life's pure refrain bleeding from the eye of the sun onto my face across the accidents of time and space. The chains of reason broken, I see the daylight star again, shame and guilt apart like the wind across my cheek. The silent purity of life calls me to speak through my throbbing heart a refrain of affirmation. It's Shade. What you got? Cookout ice cream?
Milkshake.
Milkshake. I'm reading poems. Somebody paid me to read their poems, and they're pretty good. Everyone, please watch Lupin. It's fun. I agree. Watch part 4. That one's really good.
Yeah, it's good poems.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I didn't realize you were actually gonna stream.
Yeah.
You waited so fucking long.
Yeah, it's typically how I do it. Yeah. I'm on Trixie time, you know. My
Instead of
time.
demon time.
Yeah. I'm on God time. What you up to?
I don't know. You mentioned something about streaming. I was just like waiting for you for like 5 hours.
You welcome to the experience of being a Trixie stream viewer. I usually tell people I'm going to stream today, and then they're like, "She passed out. She's definitely asleep. She's passed out."
I mean, I guess I do basically the same thing. People have been waiting on me for 3 days for the second Kendrick stream, so.
Oh, I hadn't realized you hadn't. Wait, you have streamed since then, though, right?
No.
Oh, you haven't done any streams since. Wow, it feels like it was a day ago to me. I guess I watched other streams in the meantime that were doing something
Janus.
similar. I pronounce it Janes, because
Janes.
yeah, she likes the feminine sounding ring of it.
Ah, okay.
Because it is like JNES.
Well, hi, Janes.
But saying it as Janes is like a nice name, like a way of saying it as a name, you know?
What Shade doing up? I'm 28. I don't know.
Shade works.
I worked a weird job.
Night shifts. Right? Would you say you work night shifts? Not like graveyards, but
like in the middle of the day.
What is...
Well,
you get off at
afternoon.
like what, midnight or something? Or
like 10.
10?
9 or 10.
Okay.
But I don't go in until like 5.
So. Call that the night shift.
Swing shift, someone says. Gary.
Swing.
Do you like living with Shade?
Yeah, Shade's
what's there to dislike?
Shade's good at like noticing things about the house and fixing them that's no fucking chance me or Bird were ever going to, like, or Vic or Hope were ever going to, because they obviously lived here for 5 years and didn't fix these problems. But like the house has a washer and dryer, and when we showed up, the dryer was working at a level where I've been doing all of our clothes for 2 80-minute rounds, like, because it was just so weak. And Shade was like, well, this is unacceptable. I have to figure out what the problem is. And it was like a blockage somewhere further down. Like, you said that like on the exterior there was like a grate that
the grate that like covers the end of the exhaust tube had a like bunch of like wet lint buildup on it.
Yeah.
You're supposed to clean it like every month.
Yeah. Shade, would you say that you're a cis man?
Yeah.
Then Shade brings the cis male energy that this household needs. Is what somebody who's gonna come in and go, I can, like, I've noticed that there's a busted floorboard. I can fix that when I have the
time. There's so many fucked up floorboards in here, and I don't even want to try with that.
No, yeah, we were walking around upstairs, and he was just like, "What's with the floor here?" And I stepped on, and I was like, "I think the nail is like out of the board, but under the carpet, you know."
Yeah, maybe.
So it's like you can feel. Yeah, that was my plan. But
Gary also asked,
"Is Bird not a cis man?" No, Bird is fluid. Bird had a whole. It might even still be pinned. Oh, I can't go to X and look, but Bird had the pinned X post for like 2 years. That's like, "Hey, everybody, I'm gender fluid. It doesn't mean anything to you. Don't ask me about it." But it's true.
Gary asked if you ever threw me when I was a kid, when we were kids.
Did I ever throw you? Did I ever throw you?
Likely.
Why is that likely? Why would I throw you?
I feel like you and Boyd probably threw me at some point.
Well,
I mean, not in any like
if I had you by the arms and he had you by the legs
Yeah,
and we
something
were
like that.
swing tossing you into a bed, I could see
like
that
a
having
playful
happened.
toss.
Yeah,
Not
okay.
not that I'm being like thrown at a wall.
I'm imagining when I hear throw you, I'm imagining me just like lifting you up like and just
Like more
tossing your
tossing?
ass. Shade is 6 you're 6 years younger than me. So my early memories of you are a baby. And I am big enough that I could have literally taken that baby and thrown that baby.
Okay.
So when somebody said, have you ever thrown Shade? I'm thinking like, no, I never picked up baby Shade and fucking
was,
tossed him. Why would I do that?
I guess he was just joking around because my name is Shade, so he was saying throwing shade.
Oh. That slang didn't exist when you were born.
No, it did. Well, maybe it did, but not in our area.
Yeah, that's true. Not around here. We were like, because I remember Aunt Beth was like saying like, don't name like if you he'll never hear the end of it if his name is Shade. People are always gonna be like, give me some shade, man. Can you give me some shade?
Yeah, some shade.
Did anybody
No.
ever do that?
I don't know what that is.
She just thought like, people are going to ask for you to cast shadow upon them sort of thing. I think most people just couldn't mentally process that your name is Shade. They were like,
People
Shane?
click on it.
You mean Shane?
Yeah.
Your name's Shane? It's like, no, it's not the name that you've heard other people have and therefore assume is my name. It's the one I actually said.
When I go to like a fast food place and they ask for my name, I just tell them Collins. So
Shade is the coolest name ever. Your parents are so cool to not name you something like Bill or Gary. Yeah, Shade's literally named after the comic Shade the Changing Man. Like my mom saw the comic and went, oh shit.
The only version of Shade the Changing Man I've read is Shade the Changing Girl, which was produced by fucking what's his face, the guy for My Chemical Romance. Yeah, Gerard Way. It was produced by Gerard Way's company.
Nice. I read a little bit of that and it was good. And then I didn't.
Where did they get Conrad from? Wasn't it
it
like a guitar player the mom liked, idolized?
She had known a couple of guys named Conrad. She had known a guy in a band and a cook. And she said that they were both good looking and both good, just like cool guys. So she had positive associations with the name.
Which Victor is also a similar story. You just asked Victor too.
Well, Victor was going to be named. Victor would have been named Jordan.
Yeah.
They were going to name him Jordan. Then my dad's best friend Victor Soto from the military died in like a car accident when Victor was like almost born. So they changed his name to Victor and made Jordan his middle name. And then Shade, I wanted you to be named like Ian.
Oh, a fucking robot in the chat. Got a fucking robot.
Oh yeah, I'm not logged in on Twitch, so I can't kill that guy.
So are you duo streaming?
I am dual streaming.
I see.
But
do you have me modded on Twitch? I can go met.
I don't. I have to get my fucking login figured out because I can't figure out like what. I think I had to use Bird's phone number or something to make my account, and so I have to, have his phone on hand when I signed it so I could get the fucking phone notification bullshit. Because I already had like an account or too many accounts attached to mine, probably. Like I'd be making accounts. But I don't know why these websites started making it so there's like a limited number of accounts you can have on the same phone number. I'm like, why do you even let me make 5 accounts if I can't have 5 accounts on the same phone?
Yeah. James also asked what I do in my off time to feel self-satisfaction. I play MMOs.
What MMOs are you playing? I know Victor's into the new Monster Hunter.
That's not an MMO.
It's not?
No, so I'm a bit of an MMO elitist.
Okay.
And a lot of people who play MMOs a lot are.
All right.
But if it's not like
massively multiplayer
on
online
server with a lot of people, it's not an MMO.
What do you call those though?
A lot of people just say
MMOs, multiplayer online games. Okay, sure.
An MMO snob in the flesh, yes.
What MMO are you playing, or which ones are you playing? More than one?
I mean, the latest MMO that I was playing was.
If it's before this year, I don't care. Like, what have you played this year?
This year, I mean, I played a little bit of WoW.
Okay.
But I haven't really been playing MMOs lately. I am probably about to play the Pokemon MMO. It's like a
Pokemon MMO.
Yeah, it's called Poke MMO.
Is it like official or like a?
No,
Okay.
it's a.
Am I blowing up the spot by even looking this up, or like should I be quiet about Poke MMO before Nintendo comes?
I feel like
and
people
fucking...
stream and make YouTube videos about it. That get a lot of views.
It's got a whole fucking website. I mean,
yeah, it's been up for like 10+ years.
Okay, so it's out. It's not like something you're waiting to come out, right? The game? Are you saying the game's been out for 10+ years, or just
the game's been out for like 10+ years?
Okay.
The only reason I haven't started playing it yet is because I don't know where to find ROMs.
Well,
and you need ROMs for it. So
the key to that is instead of Google, you use DuckDuckGo. And then you just type like whatever you're searching for, and it won't have like cleaned out results.
Yeah. Searching for ROMs is, I think, against TOS though. So maybe don't do that.
Oh, on YouTube?
Or at least like
or in Twitch?
Like using ROMs.
Oh, I've done that plenty of fucking times.
You just gotta say that it's your own hardware, you know?
Oh, okay. I see. Do I want to finish the poem or start from the beginning of this one? I think I'll start back from the beginning of this one.
I done fucked it all up.
Yeah. It's okay. I was paid to read some of these poems and then also to watch a video. But otherwise, the point of this stream is to be about characterizing me. How would you, not me, the human, how would you characterize me as a character? Like if you were
like as Trixie, the
I guess what I'm really trying to look for is what story do you think you want to see this character go through? Like what is the story of Trixie from people's perspective? Like what arc am I already in that you're hoping to see complete? You know what I mean?
I don't think I consume enough of your media to like.
Yeah, I figured that you might say that.
I don't think I know enough about the character. And I also feel like in order to really have a true grasp on that, there is like fucking hundreds of hours of shit to watch and consume to actually understand that.
Well, not really. I mean,
well, when does the arc start?
I mean, wherever. Like that's the thing. I make each video as though it simultaneously could be the first video you've ever seen from me, or you've seen literally all of my content. But I never make a video that I think you couldn't just watch by itself.
I'm not saying that
and it makes sense
that there's like a. Well, you asked like the direction that the character should go in,
right?
Which I would imagine implies like the next arc. So that
yeah, I guess so.
You're looking for the next, like how to start the next arc, and that the last arc, has like fleshed out already. So it's like where would that arc have begun and ended? Yeah, I guess the next arc is you live here now, so you're involved in the story. So. Part of the next arc, like because that's how like in like a One Piece arc would start, right? Is like. You move to the next island. It's just the main, it's just me and Bird at the start of the arc, and then pick up the next person. Exactly. Like crew members join, and then it's like, okay, we've got our core. What was his name? Kinemon. I don't fucking know. I don't know One Piece like that. No. I've been keeping up for like 2 years now. What did I say? I have a hero's journey, a heroine's journey, a tragic story, a comedy, voyage and return, rags to riches, rebirth, overcoming the monster. Oh, I've done the hero's journey a couple of times at this point. Streaming 2.0 era. You got a little of like ice cream in your mustache on the side there. Yeah, it's driving me crazy. Happen. Yeah, there you go. You're in your fuck anime again arc. Yeah, I'm definitely in my fuck anime again arc. I'm in my obsessed with Dochi and how do I get everybody else on board with it arc as well. You have been like I've been deep diving Dochi the last few days. What's the word? Researching? Obsessed? No, psychopathic. Okay, parasocial, that works. I mean, that's what consuming art is pretty much. Kind of inherently almost. especially when it's somebody who's not only a YouTube vlogger, but a YouTube vlogger for like 10 years before I knew about them. And now I'm catching up. And like some of the videos are like, wow, this is really insightful. And some of them, she literally is like, I know my audience is mostly high school and younger. And I'm like,
it's actually interesting. Somebody just said that
I
the
don't
internet
need
is
to be
saying
seeing this.
that she's an industry plant. I was just watching a video about industry plants.
Oh my God. The people saying that need to shut the fuck up forever.
I mean, the thing about industry plants and the video that I was watching, I agreed with his like mentality on
Which
it.
video was this? Who made it? Because I've seen a few videos.
Bro's name is Matty Balls.
I've seen the Matty Balls one, I think.
And he was like, it's just like, yeah, I mean, if you look at the definition of an industry plant, it's like, that's just how it works.
That's just what being in the industry
that's just
is.
how
yeah.
you become a musician.
It's like, to me,
like at least a popular musician.
What industry plant is supposed to mean is nepotism. Like when people say industry plant, what they really mean is like you are the kid of someone famous. You are fucking North Star is an industry plant. If you want to talk about industry plants, North Star, Kanye's daughter, Ye's daughter, I think she's fine. She's like decently talented, but she would not have any opportunities if not for the fact,
except for the first one.
Jaden and Willow Smith are industry plants. I don't dislike them for it. I think that they make some decent stuff sometimes, but like they are industry plants, Doechii is somebody who you can literally watch her whole entire career on YouTube on her channel. You could just go to Doechii's channel and the videos go back 12 years. It's like going to my channel. It goes back 12 years, so you can see the whole entire development, everything she went through.
Beyonce's daughter.
Like,
I don't know that she's doing stuff.
Yeah, I've never heard of Beyonce's daughter. Sabrina Carpenter, Doechii, and Chaperone are all being called industry plants mainly due to misogyny. Yeah, I would agree with that. And like Sabrina Carpenter's like a child star, so it's like she didn't even have a choice, her parents planted her in the industry.
I mean, you can say the same thing about what's her face with the silly dances.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
The annoying blonde girl recently kind of like blew up.
I'm old. Who are you talking about?
I fucking can't. Somebody in the chat's got to know. She's always made fun of on the internet for JoJo Siwa. Yeah, two people.
Oh, JoJo Siwa. Yeah, she's also a child star. The dance you're talking about is that stupid thing she does. I think she should join the fucking WWE. I think she would be an awesome wrestler.
It would be kind of
like
sick.
Everything about her aesthetic to me screams pro wrestler. I don't know why that's not like if she wants to be edgy and like in a very comical, like cartoony way, go be in the WWE. All right, let me read this poem real quick. You can listen if you'd like. This is a personal confession on the refrain of life's purity. Sun's embrace between trees, mound of dirt, my summit of faith, this spacely homely place. Behind fenced-up chlorine and concrete, atomized star of youth, my day of ritual, the glory of savored sacred time. Spontaneous, a revelation, the silent purity of life calls me to speak through my throbbing heart a refrain of affirmation. I cannot even believe I am alive, how full this is, the perfection to merely be. A paraphrase of heart's refrain, the meaning of thought, the distance life stood from itself in the mirror, when thought was too innocent to saturate this silence with insecure clatter. A child's experience of life, this refrain of sacred life, comes mostly in madness these days, and the rebellious spirit no cogito can tame to its beat, its scattershot noise of pop ensembles cutting life's rhythms through the guillotine of social meter, insecure and judged as a man's experience of life, the smile, the teardrop of life's pure refrain bleeding from the eye of the sun onto my face across the accidents of time and space. The chains of reason broken, I see the daylight star again, shame and guilt depart like the wind across my cheek. The silent purity of life calls me to speak through my throbbing heart a refrain of affirmation. I finally learned to love myself. It's a perfect day. I have no regrets left. Quoting directly. But regret is open like the heart, and when the heart is filled like a balloon in the air of innocence, so much easier is it for this heart to pop. The sane man,
the sane man's experience of life. I refrain in my word, I refrain in the cogito, but only the smile remembers truly the shard of purity, O sacred refrain of life.
You're really good at reading.
Thank you.
I mean, I guess I like kind of.
I hope that's why I get paid to read.
Yeah, I was like, I guess it's kind of like what you do. You write a script and then you read it.
Reading poems, though, is a special kind of reading, but I happen to enjoy. Association's
hi.
poem X. Edge between the tides of Edge between the tides of indecision. Hedgehog still and young drooling from the cave of cuts. Dilemmas continue collectively, sleeping beneath the stars' blood. Trauma's greed will dream of the western cowboy guns, coping the goal of gold, dust, and ash. I can't help but notice the hedgehog's dilemma in here. I like the way the words are framed on top of each other.
Are you supposed to be giving like your opinion on each of these?
Not really. I was just asked to read them, but I have given opinions where I have them. Do you have opinion? If you have any, feel free to share them.
For the most part.
Magnum Angel, version 1.
Guns.
Interesting observation. Fly high, Magnum Angel, spread your feathers across the lands, spark hope into the world's enigma ever deeper. Love is not the resignation to the end of fate. Life itself is a burning courage and nothing more. She has forsaken owning love and unconditionally earned every star, because love is the only way she owns. My every gaze affirms an existence. My every touch dances with their transcendence. Fly high, Magnum Angel. Love the beyond in you and everything. This actually reads like anime opening song lyrics. Like, if this was in Japanese, I could probably figure out how to sing this as an anime song. Love the beyond in you and everything. In perpetuity, let every fire kindle their twirl together. An endurance of life surpassing a banal eternity. Dispersing depths plunged by freedom. Every note of this world's symphony. The highest of her beckoning. The beckoning. You remember when Marcus was obsessed with saying the beckoning for some reason?
No.
For a while, Marcus just kept calling everything the beckoning and saying the beckoning. I don't know why. He was just really into that phrase. The highest of her beckoning other beckoned by another, to another, to another, into infinity. Fly high, Magnum Angel. Embarrassed awe shakes the earth into flight. The earth is crying tears of joy which become her seas. Let us swim into these, ever deeper, ever deeper, ever deeper. The fire which burns toward one, the sea which runs through all, contract into a hurricane, singing all our hearts' poems of life. Let me pilot you through its currents, ever higher, ever higher, ever higher, to the gift of unforgotten places which you would love to go. Love is worthy fate, so soldier of love march forward, as all directions will march that way, as you feel every word, chime to every soul, and sing every song in a glory that never ends, as long as you give us the courage to take another breath, our Magnum Angel. Then there's a version 2. Angel feathers spread across the land, every one brings eternity to hand, not in perfect silence or sleep, but in a fire of life we burn to keep. Fly high, Magnum Angel, your eternal rebellion in the name of love. Neither servant nor devil, she affirms the words every love. Okay, so this is just like a version that has more clear rhymes, but I don't like it as much, so I'm going to skip that. The time has come, O Messiah, O Messiahs. Warrior of a simple love, spill your sea of power, out the gaps of shattered innocence, and resonate a dream's vibrations up into the heavens. The melody is the rebirth of the lost soul. Fight back, the ocean of fate, a drop of water ignites her wave and spins it in another way. The machine which tried to freeze the sea is torn apart by a new tide. Against that machine which paints the world in that lonely color called perfection is the quiet no which cuts its monotone silence. Somehow it's screaming the highest yes, as life pours out the crack of light like hope's violence. Against the resignation to any final night, a heart resolute shines like an endless star. Fight back. The sea of life found her way in your eyes which denied the ultimate denial and boiled it up within your rage. There is nothing left now of guilt. Refuse to forfeit to the friction of regret. Forward is the only direction to go, as you release that inner fury which screams redemption's name.
I can only picture like some kind of warrior, like just got hit with like fucking 10 arrows, and it's just like, I need to fight back.
That is very much the vibe. Very much the vibe is like on the verge of existential death and like trying to fight back against it.
Yeah.
reminds me actually of the music of Liturgy, which I was playing at the start of this stream, which I described as it sounds like Mothra flying into the sun.
What?
Because you know how moths just will like ram into a
Yeah.
light until they're dead? Mothra, being the biggest moth, trying to hit the sun and just like, burning up, but like it won't stop flying towards the sun no matter how much it's on fire. That is how Liturgy sounds. Is like Mothra dying.
Like, what sound does a moth make when it dies?
Well, let me play you some Liturgy and we'll see if you
You
can.
got poems to read.
Okay, fine. Against a precipice, the mind leaks like waste onto the shadow, the mind leaks like waste onto the shadow she stains, not seeing past the spots which bleed in the rain. Someone is looking through. The body withers into decrepit wood. Tiniest little bird swimming through marrow, nest shaking in a rib cage, life hides in death that tricky crow, her creatures fly through a scream's air. Words which roll over hope, starting atop a hill where their eyes met, the light drains past my hands, and as I see the sand was only reflecting a sun which always sets. Resignation to a night gripping the moon, he hides his globe between shadowy fingers, harmonious peace of night we submerge into like the sea. Could you break just once for me? Could you break just once for me?
I'm trying to reply to people in the chat, but then I just realized that he's on Twitch, so I don't think he can see my reply.
Turlo's app, would not be able to see what you were typing on YouTube.
I was like, he's like, oh, they make cute noises. I'm like, wow, they're dying? I feel like they just go like...
All right, this is the last one I'm going to read. A friendship profane. O comrade, my faith profane, for so delicate you nursed my wing. When I plunged through the canyon of sorrow, when I reached for the promises of the stars, you nursed me all the same, even if you botched the procedure once or twice. As you plugged my cuts with mortal hands, mortal they be, I felt your frustrations press. I felt your apprehensions withdraw, and the tender tickle of your sympathies caress, your wellspring of kindly humanity bubbling from the face's front. I know not what machinations steer your mask, but that spontaneous glimmer that shines in error, in that blind spot only an outsider can see, in your shameless thusness, I find the spark of concern authentic. Fate is merciless if one has faith in the earth, and for profane spirits this is our faith. And I have a profane faith in my comrade. Thus do I see the earth in a friend's eye, as a mythic might see God in a child's eye. I want to give him his glory, but do not wish to deny his fragility and fate, his humble humanity. So what do I have faith in? This very mortal man, this piece of the earth which speaks, and with those words opened his faith back into me. In my woes and my joys he affirmed me as fate, thanked me for living, and I thanked him, my beloved friend. I really like that one.
That one, like, in a literal interpretation, kind of sounds like somebody who is dying and his friend is like a doctor who is trying to like revive him.
Yeah.
But also I feel it could be like actually just the trying to mend a friendship, like
I felt
it's a friend that like you care for, but they've done something that is unforgivable and they're trying to like mend it, and you're like, it's kind of done.
Yeah. I couldn't help.
You are Lisa Simpson.
I'll get to that in a second. I have a tendency to project into everything about how it could be about me. So
that's a way to interpret things.
So I read it in a way that's like, I'm like looking at myself, like what I like about this poem is that if it is literally about me, because it's saying you, and I'm thinking of, okay, well, I'm the you, this poem is addressing them, then I like the way it describes like being able to tell that you're trying to help, even if you're not necessarily that good at it, like even if you botch the procedure once or twice, and I felt your apprehensions withdraw, and I know not what machinations steer your mask. Nonetheless, I find the spark of concern authentic, and then saying like, I have profane faith in my comrade, like, even though I know we are both just like mortals, I nonetheless believe that you have the power to help me,
Yeah.
Is what I got out of that. Gary, this is the most fucking 40-year-old man thing you could possibly say. Just
There's
Lisa
also this one
Simpson.
here.
Maybe your characterization is trying to find the connection points between everything and pulling those threads. That is definitely a big part of my lifestyle. Is like I think everything is not just connected, but like obviously connected, and I get confused about the dividing lines people have between things, and the more people view the world through the lens of categories, the harder it is for me to communicate with them. The more they're like, oh, this is how a man acts or a woman acts, or this is what a video game is, but this doesn't count as a video game. Like if you have those, even you with the MMOs just there, I was like, all right, I mean, I'm willing to entertain the notion that because you do not have everybody on one server, it's not an MMO, but there is a massive number of people playing the online game.
But that's not like
it's not massively multiplayer.
Yeah,
it's just multiplayer.
and it is massive.
And it is a massive number of people playing it. So would you consider Phantasy Star Online to be an MMO?
No.
Okay, so does Monster Hunter have hub worlds like Phantasy Star does,
where
there's like all kinds of people there?
It's an interesting story because
real quick, Joshua, thank you for writing good poems. And I'm always happy to be paid to do something that is enjoyable. So
the first Monster Hunter game.
Hold on, can you like seat yourself on this side of the microphone? I'll move a little to the.
I was gonna say there's a thing here.
Yeah, you can move that up. Everything's movable. No, nothing's permanent.
I probably sound way fucking sexier now.
Sounds like your nuts dropped all the way through the floor. Let me turn the camera.
Everybody get a cold brew and sit down. You got chips ready? I can never escape the high-pitched overtones of my voice, though.
High-pitched overtones? You got a deep-ass voice.
A deep voice with high-pitched overtones.
That's a good thing, though, because that means you've got, like, chords. Like,
yeah, I think I have range.
Range. I have to... my high range gets blocked off by phlegm from all the smoking I do, and it ends up sounding like
I think the idea of asking about the Switch 2 on the stream is kind of hilarious.
Wow, Shane kind of looks like Victor. Must be a coincidence. That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, we both just look like my dad.
You look exactly like Dad's biological father.
Yeah.
Like the grandfather. Neither one of us ever met. I don't even think Dad ever met him as a formed human who could have memories. But we've seen pictures, and I've seen a movie with him in it.
Really?
Yes, he was in a 1970s South African B movie as a random like guy in office character who has like 5 or 6 lines, but he looks exactly like you. It's kind of fucking freaky.
I'd like to see the scene that he's in. I wouldn't watch the whole movie.
Uncle Johnny has it like on VHS or on a DVD. I mean,
yeah.
I think you can find it online. I had to figure out what the name of it was. I'm sure Mom could probably track that down.
Whenever somebody has like a handle that is like not something that sounds like a name, I always find myself trying to address them, but I don't know how to start because the guy's name is Your Stuff Is Cool. Yeah. And it's hard to say Your Stuff Is Cool said
hello, Your Stuff Is Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could just call him Your Stuff. Like
this is Shadu.
What's up, Your Stuff? Just make it sound like a Russian name. Oh yes.
What's up, Your Stuff?
Your Stuff.
I did like a Borat accent.
All right. I also was paid to watch a show.
Is that what catching up is?
Yeah, catching up. Let's see here.
Did you even hear that the Switch 2 was announced?
I did. It's gonna be $450.
How much was the Switch 1?
It was not that much. I'll tell you that. I don't think
it was
ever
like
paid that much for a console. I mean,
I think it was $399.
Maybe I paid that much for a Switch. I'm not sure.
I mean, I didn't. I bought it when it was like 200 something. Nobody has to buy it immediately. But I'm probably gonna have to get the Switch 2 because goddamn From Software is making Bloodborne 2 on goddamn Switch 2. It's not actually Bloodborne 2.
Dusk Bloods, the Dusk Bloods, exclusive to Switch 2.
Yeah.
And then
Bloods.
also that Donkey Kong game looks sick.
This looks cute. Is this Hot Diggity Demon?
No.
Kind of looks like his style.
Not really.
You don't think so?
No. Let me real quick. I get what you mean, but like there's like there's a certain way to his art, you know. I think it's just that he would never draw the characters that underexpressive, you know what I mean? Like
that's very true.
They're always making some because he's a big fan.
I did just
of
mean
like,
the CG stuff. I didn't realize that he started doing 2D again, like a lot.
I did not either, really. He mostly live streams from what I've seen, but anyway. Apparently Lapusha hates this, so we're hate watching.
We're hate watching?
Yes, this is a hate watch of something that I'm expecting to suck.
Donkey Kong was crazy.
I'm going to
yeah, that's the thing. So I have 2 Switches.
I have to relaunch the screen share.
I have 2 Switches, and both of them collect dust because I have no reason to have them. I got them a while ago to like do something. I think it was to play Monster Hunter.
Organize some kind of giveaway or something. I'm sure there's somebody who wants some Switches.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to. I would feel bad about giving a Switch that has stick drift, but yeah.
we have because I've got Bird has his own Switch that's like the OLED one, which is amazing.
Yeah,
and so we both mostly use that one because neither one of us is usually like playing. We're not usually both playing the Switch at the same time, but I do have Victor's old Switch as well, like his original one.
I see.
Which I don't remember what its problem was that he didn't want it anymore. Like it won't connect with a dock or something. I don't care. So I just carry them both around in the same case.
Yeah,
you can trade in a Switch 1 for 2 at GameStop for $150 credit apparently. So.
Really?
Well, it might be worth looking into.
Mine is the Monster Hunter Rise like special edition one.
Oh, we're getting $90 physical releases of games, and it's Nintendo pushing it forwards. I mean, the fact of the matter is that inflation is real. The economy is fucked. Everything costs a lot more. It's not weird that video games are more expensive. It's weird that we make so little fucking money, that the wages have not gone up proportionally to the inflation.
It's also worth stating that like games were like $50 whenever that was like an insane amount of money.
Right, exactly. Like if you run it through, like video games in the 90s were literally more expensive than they've been since the 90s based on inflation. But
it's possible to play Switch games on the Switch too. I don't know.
Right.
We just need people to understand that this is
let's watch this
making Switch games expensive.
Possibly dog shit. Did y'all hear those clacks? Can y'all hear the cartoon? I have to. We're playing it through a speaker, so you may end up hearing
OBS,
some.
so you can just see the audio levels.
I'm recording
you're recording through this
StreamYard.
Oh, okay.
It's browser based.
Oh, you don't use OBS. You just use
no.
Whatever
It's
this
literally
is.
just this browser thing. Like this is capturing natively to itself, but that's also why the audio is not that great from the playback. So I will use OBS if I was going to rap, because I've found that the audio is so like its ability to interpret both audio sources is just dog shit. Like it constantly confuses the two and can't like process it.
Well, it's also like the mic only records from like one side, right?
Yeah, the mic only records from. You can actually see inside of it that there's just like a little circular directional mic in there.
All right, well, enough.
Let's watch this shit.
Enough jibber jabber.
Supposedly bad. We'll find out, I guess. Cute.
Definitely Brian in the background.
Hey,
oh my god, you're
River Clay. I'm seeing you after school today.
For a hand job. No? Okay. Club tonight. Go to the
See
club.
you after school.
Maybe I will. Is that where they're going to meet after school? Food fight. What?
I guess it was just bullying.
Yeah, wait.
Really dry.
It's like nobody's going to say anything about that? All right. Normal day in this school.
Nice freaking job walking there,
idiot.
idiot.
Bullying, I guess. Nice freaking job walking there, idiot. Sounds
Yeah.
like some shit I would say.
I'm not a
Hey,
huge
Clay.
fan of the incredibly thick outline with really, really thin lines on the inside
Yeah,
style.
it's what I don't like about it is that it's not variable enough. There should be like okay, right here, you see where that line meets that line?
Yeah.
That should be smooth. That should not be too
It
different.
should not be like that.
It should not be a hard change of line width. It should be a smooth transition of line width. And that's it. If it had, because I love variable line widths and thick outlines, but it has to be done right. And like,
Right.
look to anime, obviously.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
But
because like this is just a thick outline. It's not something interesting. It's just that
Yeah.
they made the out. Like, because if you look at the ears, you see the left side of the ear is thick, and then the inside part of the ear
Yeah.
is not thick because they just outlined the character.
yeah,
That doesn't look good.
I agree.
Hey, don't forget about tonight. You know,
It's like not clean enough to be as clean as it is, if that makes sense. It's like it's clean, but it's not very clean. You know what I mean?
the thing.
How's school today?
Fine.
I do like the soft lights and everything, but like this is the most generic sitcom house it could imaginably
This is,
be.
I mean, this is the exact layout of the house from Gumball.
Yeah, I was thinking.
It
Well,
just
so
looks, it kind of looks
the
like the
first
Gumball
one
house.
that came into my head was Gumball, but then I also thought it's the same house from Married with Children and Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah,
They
which is
all
probably
have the
why they
same
did that with Gumball.
house.
And I mean, that might be why he's doing it here.
Yeah, it's definitely like generic sitcom house. But here's the weird part, right? Why the fuck is the chair on this side of the room?
I was gonna bring that up because he's like really close to.
There's a
the TV,
lot
I
of
think.
space behind him with nothing in it.
Maybe
Like there's a shelf. Okay, if there's nothing here but the shelves under the window, what the fuck? Like,
Could it be setting up? for
oh
a
my
visual
god,
gag,
no
maybe?
wait, that's actually infuriating me a little bit. Like, there's nothing anywhere in the room except for under the window, right next to the stairs. Like, this is a fucking walking hazard, and it's blocking the window. And it could just be over here. Why is this wall bare, but this
Yeah,
one
the
has a
asset was
fucking
back.
asset? I don't understand.
It's an interesting room.
Yes, where is the couch? Exactly, Lapusha. Like, it would be. I understand that he's supposed to be sitting too close to the TV. Why is the only chair in the room this one in this huge, like, palatial fucking living room?
Or at least if he was gonna do that, why have other furniture? Like,
Also,
just make it
like,
totally empty.
show us the TV so that we understand how close he is to it. You know, like, this definitely is communicating to me he's sitting too close to the TV, but I don't understand how much. Like, that should be the joke, is like how close he's sitting to the TV. But instead, it's like the joke is how empty the room is.
Yoga space. Lots of room for yoga. What is this dude's deal now?
You're not ready to go
He's
Go
G'd
where?
up, I guess.
to the club?
He's you can find me in the club, bottom of the pub. I got what you
talking
need
about
if
it
you
all
need
week.
to feel the
You
love.
gotta come with me.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. You see,
Someone please, I need an edit of this mouse like getting down to 50 cents.
I got-
Come on, Clay.
no, it's not even a club. It's for the under 18s at the community center.
But I've been practicing my conversation starters.
Look, Rob, I'm not going.
Clay, you're going.
Why should I?
To go just because he wants to. He's an idiot. Anything will please him. I don't care. You have to get out of this house.
Clearly not anything will please him because you have not been able to get him, like, you haven't been able to shake him off your back about this club thing.
It's gonna suck. I'm not gonna know anyone there.
If anything could please him, you could just like hand him a Game Boy and be like, fuck off.
Does anyone's parents do this? What's happening right now?
No, I've never heard
Like
of
maybe
this
with like a
also.
sibling. I don't know about like with a friend.
Well, like,
Sade.
I think this does happen, but not the way they're portraying it, where she would be like all the way in the kitchen and they're yelling back and forth across the house while the
Yeah.
other person's like out. I don't know. It's an odd.
I really don't.
Everything about this feels like it's couched in tropes that it's somehow misunderstood. Like, it's based on like the ideas of how like cartoons and TV shows show reality,
Yeah.
but like those cartoons and TV shows are trying to depict reality And this feels like it's trying to depict a TV show, you know?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel like it's based in reality. It feels like it's based on TV.
My parents would do this with my friends all the time. Literally psyche. Oh yeah.
Your parents like forced you to go out with your friends because they thought they were like cringe loners or something. Is that what she's arguing with him, right?
That's
like,
what it sounded. Well, no, because she said you have to get out of this house. So I assume that she's just
trying to get him out of the house.
trying to get out of the
Yeah,
house.
okay.
But like, I don't know.
It's definitely normal to encourage your kids to get out of the house. It wasn't normal in our household,
Right.
because our
But I
mom
just
was
figured in
like,
this
the world's
context,
scary. Don't go out there.
like usually aren't parents like interested in what is going to happen? Like the guy's talking about going to a club. I mean, he did say it's like some
that was the part that had
club,
struck me was like, why does she want him to go? I guess
Yeah.
she's explaining that, but I guess the idea is that they're just trying to get him away from the TV.
Yeah,
It's
get out
like
of
he
the house.
spends too much time in front of a TV. He needs to go hang out with his friend and stop being closed up in his room. I get that. I understand it on a human level. It just feels like the way it's being communicated is like slant correct. You know, it feels again informed by other people's projections of reality rather than actual reality. Oh, he stepped on that.
You're not wearing that.
Not even the sunglasses?
That's why I asked, what do we think
I guess.
Gray guy is? The animal he is.
Oh, like a wolf?
Is that a wolf?
What do you
we,
think?
We saw a wolf earlier. You didn't look. I would assume he's a cat. The raccoon stuff. Right. I would
Thanks for
even have a
dropping us off.
tail though
Debates
for
about
either
this.
cat or raccoon. Is he like a bear?
I mean, to me, he looks the most obviously like a wolf. Like, I don't know.
He would have a tail as a wolf too. Why does he have no tail? Is kind
You're
of the
right,
thing.
Dad,
Any kind of animal that he would look like.
Maybe he's
would have a
a
tail.
maybe he's a
And have
the
a nice
guys
time,
that-
Robbie. Now, try
the
not to get
Australian guys that beat stuff up with their butts.
Dingo?
No, the little guys. Fuck, why can't I remember the name? Lapusha, you know what I'm talking about. Who the butt, they kill things with their butt. They're always scratching their butts.
I don't know what the fuck you're on about.
They're cute little Australian.
too many girls.
Nothing from Australia.
Don't worry, sir. I'll keep an eye on him.
It's also been really
Canonically,
weird.
He is a cat. Okay.
It's been weird
He
that
does
all
not
the
look like a
background characters are like standing still.
he likes you.
Okay, so they're supposed to be Tom and Jerry, but like as like regular people instead of a cat and mouse who are like weirdly humanized. I think maybe.
think so?
I don't know. If he's supposed to be a cat, he's a gray cat with a little brown mouse. So they're just Tom and Jerry, but like as kids.
I have to see these people at school.
He's not a fucking cat. That is not a cat. In no universe, never has anyone been told draw a cat and gotten this result.
No.
It's just not fucking possible.
He definitely like you would have a tail. Like I don't know why he doesn't have a tail.
What are the fucking things I'm talking about? They're not wallabies. I wrote a rap about these guys. Hold on. I just released a song where
Not a
I
wallaby.
compare myself to a.
Or a dingo.
I don't think so.
His new design has a tail apparently. Okay, so they just forgot it in the whole
Oh
episode.
my god, that's hilarious.
In the
Maybe
whole
it's
pilot,
hard
they
to
just
do.
didn't do it. The fucking mouse has a tail. You just, I don't know. I mean, it's a really thin one, but you just do a fucking tail. You just clip it onto the back of it. Talking about koalas? No, I don't think so. Wombat?
Wombat. That's the guy.
Okay, Gary got you.
He looks like a wombat. Hold on. He looks more like a wombat than a cat, right?
Yeah, I could agree.
No
with that.
tail.
The wombats don't seem
It's
to have
got
two-tone
triangle ears.
color.
No
though.
tail. It's gray. It's just like kind of a little dot nose and a.
Because like
At the very least, he looks more like a
Another-
wombat than a cat.
another thing about it is like the like stomach face type thing going on. It kind of makes me think he's a bear.
He does look a little bit like a bear, but bears wouldn't have the big ass ears.
No.
Well, 5 days out of my week. Isn't that enough?
You know, I don't
I hate his fucking voice. He's like too much of a douchebag.
think I've ever even seen you
convinced-
outside of school or your own house.
That's intentional, yes.
But that's no way to live. You gotta get out there and do something eventually.
By the way, this like in terms of like story, like narrative for a cartoon, this is the least interesting narrative it could imaginably be.
So I'm guessing
Like,
the idea is like catching up is that he's going to realize that he's spent his whole life.
that's Michael
wasting away.
Kovac. Oh no, this is the worst Michael Kovac role ever. It's the same guy who plays Angel Dust in a Has Been Hotel. And
I haven't watched any of that.
have you seen Amazing Digital Circus?
No.
He's the
Is that
bunny
the,
guy.
is that the one with the jester girl and the
Yes.
teeth guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been paid to watch all of that by the same person who's paying us to watch this.
Oh, okay. I mean, a big. Those are all like the current like modern cartoons that have gotten a lot of like attention, right? Is this like another thing that's getting a lot of attention? This does have 700,000 views on it.
I mean,
It's just a pilot.
if anything, that's like a complete 3.2 million views.
Oh, this is actually okay. It's just I was looking at a subscriber count, not the view count.
Anything that is like a
Yeah, big indie hits. Thank you.
fully created independent animation will always get a lot of attention just because it's so hard to do, and also it's furries. And also there's apparently controversy around whether it's good or not, which kind of draws even more, like sometimes something that's kind of bad will get more attention than something that's just unremittingly good.
I mean, I've seen this guy's channel a lot. I've never really clicked on his videos. The LS Mark, this dude.
Mm.
But I do see him a lot.
He looks like the Penny Arcade guy, like the main guy from Penny Arcade.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Perfect. And so instead of simply driving to the club, we pay some guy in our class $20 to take us there on an old rundown bus. You know, that's it. I'm going home.
No, you're not. It's all a part of the experience.
It's really weird hearing Michael Kovac play someone who's not a cute boy, like not even trying to be a cute boy, because that's like so his range and like what you would hire him for, that it feels really strange to hear him play like a douchebag, totally uncute, unremarkable, unlikable.
Experience, man. I think. Just go with it.
20.
$20 for a bus fare is fucking crazy. I mean, maybe that is that like the whole entry fee for the club?
I think the implication is that this guy is just some thug who's shaking down everybody. Like,
I mean, I guess we'll see, right?
he looks like fucking Sagamander. What's that Pokemon called? The
Oh yeah, the saggy pants one. I don't
Yeah.
know. I haven't played a Pokemon game since Black and White 2.
the fucking the
Scraggy.
visible
Yeah, Scraggy's
underwear
correct.
and the hat, the backwards hat and everything.
said it's
I'm like
Scraggy.
struggling not to find this racist.
The fact that the hat is so far back makes him look like a middle-aged bald man.
I
as
mean,
well.
it kind of looks like a white guy acting black, you know. But
I guess,
it's
yeah, I can
hard
see
for me
that.
to know what the intent was, other than he's supposed to be a thug who is shaking down everybody. He's a what's that guy's name? Big U or whatever. The dude who there's a dude who's currently under fire for the fact that he had like a racket where every time anybody prominent
Don't be
came,
racist towards foxes.
every time somebody prominent came to LA, he would like shake them down, like basically make people pay a fee for just being in LA to his crew to not like get beat up, basically.
I thought that was kind of a normal thing. Like you check in.
Yeah, checking in. Yeah, it's a normal thing because of this very bad man who made it a very normal thing, and now he's in trouble for it finally.
Oh.
Hello there. May I procure for a ride, my good man?
Is that
$30.
correct? English? Procure for a ride?
What? Those guys only had to pay 20.
Maybe that's the point.
No.
Oh,
He's a scrub.
Why are the cat's eyelids the color of the rest of his fur and not the fucking fur that's around his eyes?
who was gonna buy a Coke with that?
Like cocaine? Did he just say I was gonna
I
buy?
did, yeah, I
Coke
did
with
not hear
that?
a Coke. I heard
Yeah.
Coke with that.
Okay.
I'll lend you the money.
But how am I gonna get drinks for the ladies?
Oh.
I was really hoping he was going to buy Coke later.
We were gonna look so cool together, Clay! And then I say,
I like this cat girl. Wait, no, she's a raccoon. This is at least an animal. This looks like an
Yeah.
animal.
I mean, the one on the
I
right,
got that
a
Melvin
mouse.
my pin
but-
last week and never got it back. And now this?
You
Also-
gave it to him.
Oh yeah, what was that?
You're a pushover, dude.
Totally different art styles between those two raccoon girls.
You're always offering to do stuff for people, thinking it makes you friends.
Well, where's the harm in that? It's called being a good person.
Hey there. We want to go up to the back of the bus, but we have nowhere to put our jackets. Would you be able to hold them for us?
Don't fall for the sluts.
No
Please
problem,
don't do it.
ladies.
Okay, thanks.
See what I mean?
Don't be jealous just because I got 2 bitches.
Okay, so it is adult humor, right?
I think so.
They just said bitches,
Yeah.
but it's been very childish so far.
This is a complaint I have about a lot of indie animation is that all of them are trying to make like a deliberately like edgy kids show, but it's not enough of a kids show to be a kids show, but it's not edgy enough to be an adult show, so it's just kind of shit.
Yeah,
That's how I feel about a lot of these.
this is terrible. Respect. The hyena guy looks a lot like the wolf guy.
Like this, it's just.
So,
Why
like, the-
are they high schoolers and also
background-
going to the club? I just
Well, because he said it's a club for minors.
yeah, but like
This is actually something
everyone's
that
like
we-
making out on the school bus. I'm like,
Yeah, it's very strange. This is actually something that they did recently for the rec center in Virginia Beach, where they like specifically are doing this thing after school to like give kids somewhere to go
this needed
instead of like stealing bikes.
this
Essentially,
needed to be like more metaphorical or less metaphorical or something. Like
one of the weird things I'm seeing here is that the
Was-
background.
they just like got shitted out. Of
Yeah.
the bus.
I think they were just excited. But the background has all these like nothing's a straight or nothing's a parallel line,
Yeah,
but all the characters are super clean, like
yeah, that's a good point.
like
That must
smooth
be-
lines.
Because somebody had said earlier that this felt like it had no sense of cohesive aesthetic identity, and it's hard for me to put a finger on why that feeling would be the case. But that is exactly. I mean, what the fuck is actually going on with the door on this bus compared to the lines on the bus compared to like all of it is it's like a fucked weird warped world, but the characters do not feel like they belong in it. Maybe that's part of the point.
Gotta make sure I wasn't robbed back there.
I'm also wondering why there's been
Oh yeah, no pockets.
like little audio things like little like
There's your
sound
bitches.
effects, but there's been no like
Yeah. Well, they probably just haven't.
They're probably just keeping them warm for me because they couldn't find their jackets.
They seem to be in better.
Will never care about those jackets again. Those jackets are trash to them. They forgot the jackets ever existed.
hands. Also, I don't think I've ever even remotely seen you take interest in a girl before.
We're
Aren't you gay?
clubbing, Clay. This is what you do.
Of course I'm gay, but I'm at the club. What are you, Diddy, as a
What do
fucking
you-
mouse?
Oh, okay, it's okay. So it said community center, but Immunity C has fallen off, and they've wrote lube on a sign. So it's club enter.
Yeah.
These jackets
It's kinda
are our
like that.
ticket into
Kinda
a
like
fun
this.
night.
Yeah. Or another thought, leave them on the bus.
What kind of person would I be to not at least return them? I'm telling
The show feels misogynistic. I mean, so far I would say that this character is misogynistic. And I honestly think the other character is kind of like picking up on it and being like, what are you fucking like? What are you saying bitches for? Like, why are you
Yeah,
acting like
the-
you get bitches? You know, like what is
This
this?
feels
thing
so
you're
slow.
doing?
Well, we have also spent like 20 minutes watching
Yeah,
6
we've been
minutes
we've
of
been
video.
pausing a
but,
lot.
you, Clay, if there's one thing a lady loves, it's a gentleman.
You know, this guy
Look,
is
I hold one, you hold the other. How does
having a
that sound?
misogynist character.
Hell
doesn't
no.
make
I'm
it
already forced to stand in the cold only to
You
enter a
make that-
hot
The
You
fuck
can make
is
it
this
clear
guy?
that they're not like a good
ferret?
guy.
I guess he's a ferret.
sweaty room for the rest
Yeah,
of my
probably.
night. My hands aren't leaving my damn pockets till I get home.
come on. It's about the experience. How else are you going to meet new people and live a little?
Yeah,
I feel like I recognize that mouse's voice.
if they're as cool as those fine scholars on the bus ride we just sat through, then, yeah, it's gonna suck.
Fucking doofy look on
No
his
trainers. Scrapes up the floors.
But these are new trainers?
Oh yeah.
I said no trainers.
I mean, those guys aren't even wearing shoes.
Like it looks like he's wearing Converse. So is it like a no? What the fuck is the point of any of this? Trauma decompression from somebody who felt like everyone around them in high school was trying really hard to be cool and super sexual and stuff, and they were like, I just want to go home and watch TV and not be involved in any of this stuff. I just want to watch cartoons. I don't want to grow up.
What does the bear wear?
So are they supposed to be wearing shoes?
Okay, go in.
No, they're
So,
fine.
where to
So the bear
first?
could have just taken the shoes.
Probably.
Why was he even wearing? I guess it's just a fashion thing.
He had new trainers, but you're not allowed to wear trainers into this club, so it's fucking stupid, is what it is. It's somebody who's never been to a club but has heard that you can get kicked out for your shoes being wrong, so that's what the cartoon is.
Yeah. I mean, they were wearing heels. Right?
I mean, like, realistically, the point of what this cartoon, I think, hopefully is trying to communicate is like when people don't want you around, they just make shit up. Like it's not about the shoes, it's about that guy's a dork, and so whatever you tell him to get rid of him, like, your shoes you got the wrong shoes, you can't come in, like.
Oh, so they passed the cool check with that vest and that hat.
Somehow they passed the cool check, but maybe it's because he recognized that this mouse has money, because obviously what should have been communicated in this is that this mouse is like a rich kid, because he's clearly supposed to be.
I have not picked up on that idea, but that would make sense. Yeah.
As soon as people see him, they're like, oh yeah, it's $30 for you, not 20. Like the assumption is he has $30, like, because, and that he'll spend it because he's a rube, like obviously everybody sees him as somebody they can take advantage of, but it's like, it should be that he's like a rich kid who desperately wants to be cool by copying poor aesthetics, and therefore is being taken advantage of by all the poor people around him who don't respect him but want his money. Like that's what this character should be.
Do people like this shit? Well, let's look at the like to dislike ratio.
You can't. That's not a thing anymore.
You don't have the
There's no
thingy?
like. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't use extensions.
There's like an extension that just brings it back.
I
I don't know if people don't like it, but a lot of people did like it.
Yeah, I mean,
Is my hate of the pilot justified? I mean, it's pretty boring so far.
so far I don't
I mean, if
like it. but-
All the pedantic things aside, it's not necessarily interesting.
Yeah. Like I said, as far as a concept for a cartoon goes, this is the lamest shit imaginable. It's like literally a cartoon about like being a lame high schooler. Like,
And I mean, the thing is,
Why?
like, since it's a pilot episode, I mean, most of the time, you don't like make a pilot episode look this clean or finished. Like, unless you, I mean, I guess they already knew that they were going to get the show. I don't know. Like, it's normally a pilot episode, you're just focusing on the characters and the jokes and the setting, right? And all of that has been boring. But the visuals, aside from like weird shit being kind of like off, looks pretty clean
yeah.
and like well done for a pilot.
In regards to saying it's a waste of resources to put all this effort into this of all things, I don't tend to look at it that there is like these are resources that could have gone to something else. Like, I think a lot of us have that approach when we look at art of like, why this and not this other thing? And the answer is like, this is what these people can do. Like this is what they can do. They can't do another thing. They just aren't that good. Like, and when you say resources, it's kind of like a way of saying that
but it looks like it should be good. That's kind of what you're saying, right? Like it looks like it should be good because things about it are good, that like clearly time and effort went into this. I would say this doesn't look resource intensive to me. Like it looks relatively easy to do if you know how to do animation.
Because I
Because
assume it's animated in Flash, and a lot of this stuff.
the it's just so
you create it
simple
kinda
with
easily.
the like expressions, with the like the characters don't move a lot, so there's not a ton of animation to be done. You're just taking those models and changing the pose very slightly, again, like where I was when you mentioned Hot Diggity Demon, like he goes out of his way that like no two frames look the same in a Hot Diggity
Yeah.
Demon cartoon. They just don't. There's not two frames that look the same because he would be bored by that. And like this animation does not, it's more concerned about telling the story. Like I do think the first concern here is the story, which is the sad thing about this cartoon, is that I think this person really wanted to tell this story, but the story sucks. And so like when you say it's a waste of resources, it's like it's a waste of this person's time, but it's not a waste of their time because like, oh, their talent could have gone to something better. It's a waste of their time because they need to like go have an adventure in the real world before they make art. Like
Right.
some people just don't have enough perspective into reality to make art that will affect reality positively,
Agreed.
and I think that's where this falls into. Is so far, I mean, we don't really know what the message is yet, but so far it just feels like trauma decompression from somebody who really doesn't understand what they were even experiencing, because they never went to the fucking club. This person has never been to the club. Like, there's no way.
Or they've been once, and this was their impression.
Yeah, one or the other. They definitely don't know about the club, don't care about the club, but let's see where this goes.
What are we even supposed to do in here?
Hey, how about we try and find our lead?
There's a phrase in Shirobako. There's a character who, my favorite, Diesel-san, who's a writer. And at one point, someone says something misogynistic to her, and she like writes it directly into a scene, and she gives it to the lead writer that she's kind of taken as her sensei. And he says, he like looks at it, he starts reading it, he frowns, and he hands it back, and he says, "It's too raw. It's like obvious that this just happened to you. Like the point of a story is to tell a story about like the characters in the story, not about you,
Yeah.
You have to make characters who would have similar experiences to you, but if it just sounds like you are talking, then I'm just like, okay, but are you right or are you wrong? Where are you coming from? That's how this makes me feel. It's like I'm having too much of a conversation with the creator and not enough with the characters.
Ladies, they're bound to be looking for us. Not to mention, if we give them back their jackets, they might even,
I don't know.
Me neither. I was hoping you did.
Okay, while you do that, I think it'd be better off to find a nice, quiet place I could just sit down, relax, and... Okay.
One that God himself. Because when you leave a comment that says these characters are definitely inserts for Mark and there's very little abstraction about his negative thoughts, I think he was like 19. And your name is God himself.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's
okay,
as
well,
if we're-
of course God would know,
Yeah,
right?
like God is giving us the actual fucking insight. He's like, yeah, I watched him do this shit. It was kind of cringe.
I've been watching this. This guy has been a cow for me for like 10 years. I can't believe you're talking about from the clouds.
Whoa!
I was wondering how old.
Oh yeah, I mean, if they really were 19 years old, this is like not like it's like what I would expect to be wrong with a 19-year-old's work, like it's not like if he's only 19, it's like, oh good, there's plenty of room to improve and like go take that tour of the country and like learn some shit, like take the money from this and go invest in being a more interesting person before you make your next thing.
Unless Mark is currently 23.
23 now. Yeah, he's got plenty of time to become.
Yeah, so he probably was. How long ago did this come out?
6
Okay,
months
so
ago.
he was 23. I mean, that's still pretty young.
Yeah.
To be like doing a big production. Is this all soda?
Well, as long as I'm carrying these around all night. Hey, what are you doing with my jacket?
We fucking tried to steal
No,
from your
you're
jacket.
mistaken. This is the jacket of my pal's future girlfriend. Let me see. Oh wait, no, it's not. Creep.
That was a very random scene.
And the sound effects were a little weird.
Yeah. So there's not that they didn't have any music. That those things were just meant to be quiet.
Yeah,
for
you're
everybody,
just
I
meant to
guess.
be on the audio.
I like to hear the
Hi there.
maybe I'm not going to assume the gender.
I said hi there.
I can't hear you.
This is the cutest character design so far, I think. Like, this looks like an actual character, like not a.
The music is making it harder to hear us.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
crazy because
that
it's
makes
not even that
sense.
loud.
Well, like I said, the way that this fucking thing picks up the two different audio sources, it just can't. It cannot process consistent sound coming out of one
Is
source.
it like
and,
does it have some kind of like filter thing that it's like trying to get rid of background noise or something?
probably. Let's go into the settings and see if we can change anything. Echo cancellation, we can turn off and see if that helps. Automatically adjust mic volume.
Well, hopefully this didn't make things totally fucked up.
Turn the mic volume all the way up. Are we like crazy?
Am I gonna
loud
blow
now?
your fucking speakers out?
I'll turn that back down. I can't hear it all now. Uh-oh. What have I done?
I think you're on the right mic still. Just hit the automatically adjust mic volume. How about now? Yeah, because I mean when you hit the automatically adjust mic volume, that little thing became way more clear. So I think that's kind of saving your life right now.
Okay, I see. Turning off echo cancellation had made it much worse. Well,
Feels
all
like
right.
I
Well,
just
I'm
low
gonna
parts.
stop fucking with it. We'll just pause when we talk and make sure that
Yeah.
you can hear us.
I said.
What'd you say?
Hi there.
What?
I said hi there.
This is a real fear, though, that like I'm gonna be loud right at the moment when everybody gets quiet. You know. So,
Although it kind of implied that they got quiet because he got loud.
yeah, that's.
Which
It
is-
would have been funnier if it just happened to be that everybody got
Yeah.
quiet at that moment. Because like in a real life scenario like this, there's no way he was loud enough that it like overpowered the
No way,
music
yeah.
or any of the conversation happening. Again, this person's never been to the club. It's just not possible. The point of the club is that it's a place where you can scream. Like
Yeah.
it's a place where like 40 drunken white bitches are going to be howling into the night like fucking like wolves, you know, like
It might be the drugs, but that dude.
we've definitely been watching for at least half an hour.
Hey man,
Causing a
I
lot.
saw you in line with this girl. My girl, by the way. And I was wondering, you know, if you saw where she went or if she said.
You know you're dripping, right?
Drip. You got the drip.
Yeah, my dad tells me I'm dripping with good looks. Anyway, so I wanted to know if you had seen these two girls around
That's a
here.
good
Why
response.
do you look like that?
He said, "Why do you?"
Oh,
look
yeah,
like
you
that?"
mean this thing. Actually, that girl you were with.
You look stupid.
Okay, but I was. I do?
Nice.
You know, I like that guy. He's honest. He was just like, "You look stupid."
Yeah.
I would be like, "Thank you, man. Let me fucking fix
me
how
fix
like
that."
what could I do about it?" Like,
Have
got
you
any
ever-
pointers? Like,
So whenever he said that you're dripping, have you ever seen this hilarious
I
video?
was also feeling the gay tension. I was assuming
You thought that it was gay tension?
initially my thought was this guy's flirting with him, but then
Maybe.
I don't think Mouse is picking up on it because I don't
Yeah.
think he knows he's gay.
Huh. I didn't pick up on it either.
See you later,
I don't know if the creator knows this mouse is gay either, but this mouse is gay.
coat rack.
Wait, have you seen the video?
Which video?
It's like this guy. He has like a string around his neck with like ice cubes on it. He's like, "Oh, what do you think of my chain?" And the guy's like, "Dude, what are you doing? You're dripping. There's literally ice on your neck." He's like, "Thanks."
Yeah.
There's right a bit of that. He's not enough to be gay. That would be a good.
Thank God.
The mouse has got to be gay. Again, I don't know if the mouse knows that. I don't know if the creator knows that. The mouse has got to be gay.
Silence.
She's cute.
Could I leave these here for a few hours? I gotta get back to my friend.
Sure, that'll be $30.
This is actually a dangerous idea. Don't give the clubs the idea of charging you to hang up your jacket. They'll do it.
I have to pay to leave these jackets here?
It's offensively ungay.
I agree that this is an offensively ungay short. This is maybe the least gay thing Lapusha has ever made me watch.
So
And
you're
it could
telling
be
me
gay is the thing.
Yeah, it could easily be gay.
I have to pay to get
And it would be a lot better.
right over here. Pay to get into this sweaty dump, which will be a bingo hall tomorrow. And I'm expected to lug these
Actually, I would even describe this as basically like straight people problems. The
He kind of
cartoon
looks like a monkey right now.
Gay people don't face these issues.
two jackets, which aren't even mine, by the way, around all night
I do like the way he shook his ears and they kind of like flapped around. That was funny.
without paying another $30?
Yeah, dude, you got the money.
That's what it's like to go out.
It's just, you know, you don't go out if you don't got the money. And if you do got the money, you don't get to complain about how much money you spent.
These things are cursed.
And of course, there's nowhere to sit.
I thought he was walking into people fucking for a second there.
There's just like a mash of movement.
Better than standing, I guess. Oh God, should I do this? What if she's saving that seat for a friend? Or wants to be left alone? Crap, she sees me
Oh no, the neurotic thoughts. Relatable though.
beelining directly towards her. Nice, Clay, that doesn't come off as psychotic.
I mean,
Well, I've committed now. Gotta make the best.
at the table of a complete stranger.
If you were not a neurotic freak like one of us, then yes. This is how hookups happen. Like if somebody's sitting alone at the club, you sit next to them and they will either tell you to fuck off or you now are going to talk to them. But like he's so afraid of being told to fuck off that he will never get the opportunity, you know?
Best of it.
Possible. Unless it looks like he's going. He's facing the right.
So, what brings you here?
Okay, so she's DTF. Like,
Yeah,
if you
immediate.
sit down at the table and you're facing the wrong direction and they're like, I think I'm curious about you, you're already in. From this point, all insecurities are nonsense.
Here.
His hat does have a mind of its own. It's weird how it's disconnected completely from the top right now.
Okay, he's in. Locked in. Let's go. He locked in. Our
Okay,
boy is
okay.
going to do it. Y'all, I think maybe this ship can turn around.
Well, I didn't want to come. My mom.
I
got
didn't want to
thicker.
come, he said again.
Hey, you.
You know, there's a great line, a famous line for the movie Clerks, where the main character is always saying, I'm not even supposed to be here.
They were actually so afraid of making the. Yeah, that's a great line. But they were so afraid of making this like inclusive in any way that they decided to make the girl that he hooks up with the same species. Like they couldn't have just made it interspecies
Fair point. Yeah.
just because.
No, it's too normcore.
Made me. I mean, what a bitch, right? I'm gonna go.
Have fun.
You sure say bitch a lot. She kind of is giving Amy Rose, but goth, or Antifa, Antifa Amy Rose.
Perfect. That'll make school on Monday fun. Damn sure
Wow, he really fumbled that shit quick.
she's too.
Yo, what's your problem, man? You almost just stepped in my.
I really thought our boy might have some kind of game, and he just literally.
I mean, I guess he
noped out in 10 seconds flat.
They went for a sort of like Scott Pilgrim meeting Ramona Flowers bit there, but wasn't quite as funny.
Girlfriend.
Well, how does
His girlfriend is literally a worm.
That could have been
Would you
funny,
still
but
love me
the
if
sound
I was-
effect was weird.
They needed to find a way to incorporate the meme accurately. The whole like, "Would you love me if I was a worm?" Like, there needed to be a
Yeah.
setup where where like a girl asked that and then she turns into a worm later. That would have been fun.
that work?
Yo, what the fuck did you just say?
Now they're saying the fuck word.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Hey, watch it.
Anxiety attack.
Hey! You! Come over.
Oh, this guy's actually cool as shit. What
that-
the fuck?
Is that Pooh Bear?
The guy on the right, no, fuck Pooh Bear. Fucking weird fat golden retriever guy over there. I want the rad little fucking cat with the sunglasses.
I
Looks
know
like
it's just because of
badass.
the shape of the sunglasses, but he reminds me of Pizza Steve.
I don't know Pizza Steve.
He's from Uncle Grandpa.
He reminds me
Yeah.
of Homestuck. The shape of his head is like the cat thing from
Over
Homestuck.
here.
Let's see. Ooh, dog, yeah.
I wanna
Oh man, they're on the good drugs too.
Look, man, I don't really want to be
I want exactly whatever that guy's
here
on.
right now, so no, I'm not interested in seeing what you got. This whole night has been a big mistake.
This is such a weird turn for his character. Like he's all of us. Like I guess these guys just made him feel comfortable enough to trauma dump on them. Like, does he know these guys? They were just like, "Hey man, you want some drugs?" And he's like, "No, what I want to do is tell you my life story in the middle of the club."
At this point, I just want to go home.
Hey,
The hell?
brother. Relax.
He has real
I
hands.
was just gonna offer you something to
There's definitely some gumball influences going on here, but they're not capitalized on very well.
take the edge
The
off.
Gumball does
I-
it perfectly.
I wish they did a lot more. Like, if you're gonna have gumball influence, go all in and just be gumball. You know?
Yeah.
Soda.
Yeah, as far as you know.
Holy! Are
Whoa.
allowed to have-
You snuck real alcohol into our fake alcohol event. I literally forgot that they were supposed to be at a fake club. Like,
yeah,
it's
it's a fake club.
have that in here?
Community center.
again, it's either need to be more metaphorical or less metaphorical for it to make sense.
Hey, what they don't know won't hurt 'em.
Hey,
Oh, when they don't know, won't hit him.
Yeah.
Yeah, huh? $20.
That
Deal?
himself brings up a valid assessment.
I like how this pilot captures real insecurities, but it isn't self-aware enough to prescribe mature solutions. Exactly. The insecurities are real, but it's all like stuff that you imagine is going on somewhere that just isn't the reality of it. So it's like, I understand why this is like somebody imagining what would happen if I did try to go to the club. It would just be me being neurotic the whole time and all these situations. And it's like, the reality is nobody would be fucking paying attention to you at all. Like, nobody would give a fuck what you were doing. Nobody is paying attention unless you are actively seeking it out. What would actually happen is he would go there, he would stand in the corner quietly and then leave in like 15 minutes and
Yep.
nobody would address him whatsoever. That's what would really happen if this person went to the club.
Okay, right. What you just said right there.
Someone
That's the reason why nobody wants to take the shit.
Actually,
Wait,
no,
what
the
the
reality
fuck?
is this person would never end up at the club. There's just no,
Wait, that
the
was-
cover charge would be enough to keep him the fuck out.
That's Psychic Pebbles.
Oh, really?
With you. That's why. That's it. That attitude.
Yeah.
That general attitude.
You lost it.
Maybe that's why it's got millions of views.
Psychic
It's got
Pebbles.
like a 2-second cameo.
Well, like I
from
said, I
a
think this guy
famous
gets. I
animator.
think this guy gets views.
Something.
Good one.
What's with the cape? Super dipshit.
Yep, okay. Clay? What's the matter with you? You actually look happy to be here.
Oh yeah, no, I'm great. Just
He got the grog.
perfect.
He's grogged up.
Hey,
Look me in the eye.
are you
Can't do
drunk?
it.
What?
I do really
no,
want
just a little something to take the edge off.
Smiling Friends is like a much better version. This makes me appreciate that show more. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Smiling Friends, but like in terms of like what I'm saying about how this show needed to either be more or less metaphorical, that show is both at once, like tremendously more and less metaphorical in that like the literal events of the story
are way more weird and like abstract, but the themes are extremely clear, you know, like beating you over the head clear in a way that this is like just feels very juvenile, you know. It feels like it's trying to make a point, but it doesn't really know the point it's making, so it's just kind of skirting around being like a mopey, depressed teen about everything.
Right? You drank the whole bottle. Well, you gave
I
it
was
to
not
me.
calling.
Oh, jeez. Come on, I gotta get you home.
What? Oh, but this place was finally starting to get good.
You are not the person I was expecting to have on my arm tonight.
Yeah, why are you still holding those things? They didn't want to talk to you. They were just using you.
You don't know that.
That's my favorite moment in the whole cartoon.
That face.
The satisfied look of having just finally told your friend what you wanted to say 3 hours ago, and like
Yeah.
you can't believe he still hasn't figured it out on his own, so you finally are just like, fuck you, bitch, why did you even do this? And then you're just, yes, I finally said it. Goes right to bed.
We just haven't had the time to meet up yet. But now I know I'll never see them again because I have to take care of you.
No, this is exactly the move I would have pulled in this situation. Would be, you know what? Actually, the reason I'm in this situation is because my stupid douchebag friend doesn't realize how much of a stupid douchebag he is. So I'm going to get shit-faced, pass out on him, and make him deal with me. That's how I'm handling tonight.
Why are they all ripped up?
Oh, there they are.
Oh, my
Yeah,
shit.
little pricks.
Oh, hey, look who it is. Go on, talk to them.
Are they trying to rob him or like?
Yeah, I guess so.
Hey, look! Remember me?
Are they also drunk?
Probably. Remember? What's that?
Be cold no longer, girls. As a mouse of my word, I have held on to your jackets all night. No need to thank me.
Okay.
What? Oh, yeah. Well, we were gonna go ahead to another club, so if you could just like hold on to those for another couple hours, that would be great.
Yeah, that'd be great.
They don't.
Throw them away.
How expensive were these They just were they like $2 jackets?
These girls were trying to rob this club just now, I think. I think they just probably take things and
Okay, so they robbed
then
the jackets.
don't care about them because they just have them, you know.
But what was the point of them?
Well, no, I'd love to join you, but
They were just like, oh, we don't want to wear these right now. We're warm, so can you hold on to these? But I don't think they were ever going to like ask for them back. Like I think it was more like, hey, here's somebody we can have do something for us. And
I gotta take care of my friend. Looks like some people can't handle their liquor.
Yeah, no. If you could just hold on to him for a bit longer, that would be great. Thanks.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You know what, actually?
That wasn't funny at first, and then it got funny. I was like
Why
hating
don't
it, and
you
then it
come
went
with
off
us
so long.
and carry our jackets everywhere we go? Oh my god.
Oh my god, like our own little butler.
I was thinking more like a coat rack. How does that sound? You want to be a coat rack? Look, all right, okay.
You need to be dressed. Oh my god, what the hell?
See, Claire, he's like her full
I don't think beating their ass would be the answer, but
I just felt like that's what he wanted to do.
God, that's adorable.
he's gonna fucking he's gonna wolf out.
Look, why don't you just take the damn jackets already and leave the guy alone?
You cannot talk to her like that.
I'll talk to you however I damn please. This would be over if you just take the stupid
This is a weird scenario because I don't think he thinks he's being bullied and he's just mad on his behalf and stepping in about it, which is really unnecessary. Like, no, let him fucking deal with this.
jackets back for the love of God.
Don't
Let
act
him
like
be
you
a
know
dumb
me.
simp.
You don't know where I'm from. You don't know what I've
Tie
been
it around your
through.
waist.
So
Put it
if
over
you
your
think
shoulder.
you can
Anything
walk
to
to
make
me,
this-
Jesus Christ! Just shut the hell up about these goddamn jackets already!
What the heck?
Correct.
That felt good.
Throw the other one.
Those were expensive.
Not that we paid for them. I'm sure.
So? I'm gonna be sick.
She remembered she was drunk.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Hey,
Is your homie's approval good enough?
sorry tonight sucked.
Seems like it.
Weirdest hangover ever.
Yeah.
Well, despite all that, I still appreciate
He had what, one beer, probably.
you trying to get me out of the house. I actually did have fun.
You only really get hung over from the
you get it later,
dehydration and like from sleeping while you're still like I only ever get hungover if I pass out while I'm still really drunk. Like if I get sober and then I fall asleep, then it's not as bad.
Yeah.
But
Zydeus, yeah.
Really?
Oh, no, I mean,
And
the start
we
kind of
agree.
sucked, but after a while, I sort of warmed up to it.
Thanks for getting me out of that, at least. I guess I need to stop letting people walk all over me.
What are you talking about? You just did.
Oh, yeah.
so were we supposed to
Never
Putting
took you
them
for the
out?
drinking type.
They both suck.
Every time.
Deal.
Yeah, he didn't really come to realize
Definitely seemed to
how
help, at least.
fucked up
Yeah, I guess so.
view of like women is.
No.
Throughout.
No real lessons were learned here. Get drunk. Get shitted. Get fucked up. Yeah, let's go. I mean, if the message of this, if what we're supposed to take away is that like cat guy figured out that he could enjoy himself by just bullying this dumb little fucking asshole, then this actually is a little funny. Like, he's just bored. He feels no real sense of purpose or belonging, but at least he can make fun of this stupid rich kid that won't stop following him around. You know, that's what I got out of it.
Yeah. Yes, I'm not entirely sure. Like, all that was learned is that he should stand up for himself, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
Cat,
there's a lot
Cat
of
learned
different
nothing,
lessons that he could have learned.
except for maybe, yeah, bullying is fun, and Mouths learned I should stand up for myself, but then immediately showed that he has no capability of doing that whatsoever. So, this is weird. This was a weird one.
Cat learned that he likes booze. He sure did. Yeah, he's an alcoholic.
We did go unnecessarily in depth, but I figured that probably that's something that's going to be clipped. And pretty much every time I react to an indie cartoon, one of the clip, either that one Lucario fan or Trixie Clipsy will clip it. So I was like, fuck it. Let's make this like an in-depth review so that if this person sees it, they understand all of my complaints.
However small they may be. But
my complaints
I like
were
complaining
pretty
about things.
existential to that one, honestly, because to me,
Yeah, a lot of them were,
the
sure.
biggest problem was like that the thing just didn't need to be, like it just didn't need to exist. I don't think the message it sends is like worth sending. Really. I think that person needed like regular therapy as opposed to doing an art project to talk about this problem. Like they needed to talk to like an adult as opposed to their pen and paper about these feelings they were trying to work through. Because as a cartoon, it didn't make any fucking sense. Why were they high schoolers and it was a club? It's just just make it about going to the club. Why did they have to be high schoolers? Like,
yeah, very, very strange.
I just remembered that I was going to bring this up.
But I did say that our rec center is doing something very similar to this.
Here's a video that has the same message, but communicated much more effectively, in my opinion, by being way more metaphorical, but also way more direct and more worldly. And I'm going to play it at 2x speed to not get copyright.
The recent dating history of the creator of the cartoon is hilarious. You can tell his issues are coming out in the pilot.
Oh boy, yeah, too raw. Needs a therapist in his life before he makes talk to the therapist, then draw the art. All right, I have to piss, so I'm just gonna play this video for a minute.
Also, Melee Productions, I think, chatted a while ago asking if we wanted to play his game.
I will get back to that.
We're there. X? Do we want this to be on 2X? Can you marry someone too old for him? How long was it like? Was he like 22 and married someone who was like in their late 30s or 40s or something like that? An adult and not your current teacher. If you fucking move to your mom, holy shit. You gotta get it on a t-shirt. Somebody, any artist in the chat, draw something that's put on a t-shirt. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna put it on a t-shirt. I like to imagine the art behind it. The song is actually super fire. It sounds good. Dixie's the second greatest writer of all time. Who's the first? Well, I hope that they tell me. Also, I'm not here. That's what I was thinking. That was like kind of fire.
Gary saying I'm the second greatest writer of all time after Endless Chess. I would recommend reading more, Gary. I don't think either of us is in the front running of that. Read some Jorge Luis Borges and
That's a fun
some
name.
fucking Oscar Wilde and who else is in the upper echelons?
Oh yeah, this is what he does. I believe he watches like every episode of a cartoon and then like
okay.
talks about it.
So he's not just an animator. He does other
Yeah,
stuff.
he's like just a YouTuber that uses like a animated avatar.
Let me
The fuck is Borges?
Borges.
Oh, Borges.
He was an Argentinian author who I think maybe is the greatest author of all time. Malik Productions with $5 said, after this indie animation, want to play my game Skagoogly.
Skagoogly.
Or How the Internet Might Kill Us All. Well, let's find it.
Skagoogly. I think they said they posted it in a thing. Very recent. You can scroll way down. Unless you're trying to read everything.
I am. Is that really so? I probably missed some of this.
Oh, you missed a lot. You barely ever look over there.
No, I read everything I just passed by. I read. I read a lot out of the corner of my eye. I just don't respond to
Are you a
very
chameleon?
much. But I like going back over stuff because I will remember that I didn't like. Sometimes I'll read something and I'll have a thought about it, but I don't say it because I'm trying to save it for later. But then by the time I get to later, I don't remember what the thought was. So then I want to go reread it to remember what the thought was.
So I remember what the thought is.
I like this one. These roasties are always just using me, man. Every teen boy. Yeah, that was pretty much the feel of that cartoon. Yeah, it's not just the character. The show is misogynist. That was kind of the vibe by the end, based on the fact that he did not.
Yeah, the
really,
fact that he didn't actually
he
learn
didn't
any
reflect
lesson
in any way on
about-
his opinions about women.
Yeah. Nobody in the show commented on it in the slightest.
I mean, like, I think those girls, like, they was hoes, but like the problem was that he's chasing after hoes, not that hoes are hoes, you know? Like,
Yeah, well, he literally just referred to women as bitches. Like,
right.
not necessarily that they were bitches.
Bitches, yeah.
But just he said that he wanted some bitches.
Darlene is spiritual Brandon Rogers. Okay.
Who is Darlene?
No. It's a character. Darlene is spiritual is the name of the short. I see reactions to it. Is this one of those that's no longer on YouTube? Except for in the fact that there's a billion people literally just watching it.
Oh wait, I think I know who Brandon Rogers is.
Wait, didn't you pay me to watch this before? I feel like you've paid me to watch this once before. Unless I'm thinking of a different one.
It's the guy that does the like silly voices and did like the Expecto Patronum through the hammer at the fucking ceiling or something like that.
I don't know about that one. Brandon Rogers is like his comedy is about being like the most hyperactively gay, like aggressively gay.
We'll play a little bit.
Edgelord imaginable.
Yeah, this is the guy I'm
I don't
thinking
hear
of.
any fucking sound.
Immediately recognized him from his face.
Me and Bird met.
Have I seen this one? I have
and
not.
Bird is in one of his videos.
Really?
My name is Darlene Kornrubin, and I am an astrological lesbian. This tree has a
We-
good energy.
Lapusha has definitely paid me to watch this before, but yeah, Shade hasn't seen it. So
That was a bad stick.
do y'all not hear the sound? Okay, you do. Okay, good.
This is my celestial star partner.
I also met Adam Nealon. This is the nicest person I've ever met.
Really?
Yeah, he is just like the sweetest person in there.
Kathleen. Well, we've been married for about 4 years. Oh. All right, there's something you need to know about me, Marcel.
Gabriel.
This isn't about you. I'm very lesbian, and I'm very pregnant. Somewhere between 3 to 6 months.
My son's the donor. He embodies everything I hate about my ex-husband, particularly his high sperm count.
Yes, he's loaded.
I spent
What
years
the hell?
figuring out all the good ones, so this one's bound to be retarded.
What are you doing to my auntie Doris?
I'm John Dix, Mom.
Mom,
John Dix, Mom.
You call me Kathleen.
Whatever, I gotta do this vein, bitch.
Nature's a big thing.
Gotta do
I
this
have
vein,
nature.
bitch.
I love nature more than everyone. Ah, fucking bee! Ah, I guess you could say I have a
Well,
my baby. That's what I love about Darlene, her sense of humor. It's true. I teach a spiritual healing
Sound
class
like
that
it.
uses elements of nature and the universe. All right, everyone, now inhale. This is very relaxing for you.
the hell?
It's our marriage. We're here to grow our relationship.
Grow your dick!
All right, everyone, put your hands on my baby. Feed off its energy. Too hard.
My name is Mary Potter. I used to just go into the store and buy regular chips, for instance, and now I've been making my own chips. Beautiful, beautiful weather here.
So I assume you guys are vegans?
We find that word very offensive.
We don't believe in taking the life force of any living object.
If you can enjoy a salad, you might as well go rape someone. Kathleen and I
Salad,
only eat mud. Darlene,
Oh,
I got dinner.
okay.
I think
Oh,
we're
I
gonna have
remember
leftovers. It tastes like shit, but that's a price you pay for living as progressively as we do. Oh God, I'm going into labor. Someone put on Comedy Central. Okay, good. It's going back in. We got this when we went to Morocco last year. Don't tell the Moroccans. You might not know this, but Kathleen is a musician.
Each track is one note for 3 minutes.
No.
I think I'll call that one fire.
This plate was given to me by my
I mean, holding
grandmother
them
when
up
she
for
was...
3 minutes.
Oh God, Kathleen, they're in the kitchen now. He knows how much I hate the penis shape. Little bastard draws them all over the house.
Man, what are you doing? John Dix, faggot.
Oh my God,
Jeez.
Kathleen, he's got them in different colors now.
You're such a fucking dictator.
You get those cocks off my door this instant.
Yeah,
The little look to the camera was perfect.
Fucking, this is my favorite
You're such a
part.
All right,
dictator.
shithead, no more puns.
I got puns all night, you nut job.
Oh, this mud ain't sitting
Oh my
well with
God.
me. Kathleen, don't you dare. Oh, Darlene. I don't know what it could be. You broke our sacred diet. Oh, Kathleen, wait, I can explain everything. Describe yourself in one word or less.
Life of the party.
I said one word.
I needed enough dialogue to cover my fart.
Oh my God, Kathleen, don't panic, but you got dicks all over you.
I like to fuck for fun as often as possible with as many as
Whoa.
possible.
I'm taking this tantric healing class because I'm a racist.
All right, everyone, tilt your heads
Delivery
back.
is so fucking perfect on that. Just like suddenly cuts to this woman who's not been in the video like at all. And she's, I like to fuck for fun.
Close your eyes and don't move a muscle no matter what happens.
Darlene, where's the plunger? The toilet's all backed up again.
Where's your cell phone? I'm teaching a class.
Well, what do you think backed it up?
This is not important.
Is
Oh.
this important?
Kathleen, those things better not be out.
I'm gonna rub my tits
It's all over your friends' faces.
Yo, you better not.
Yeah, the berry princess liked it a
Nobody
whole
move
lot.
a muscle. You're doing a great job. What can I say? I'm very blessed. My life is perfect.
It's the doctor.
Oh, God. Turns out she's not pregnant. It was just a massive accumulation of mud.
God damn it!
My wife tells me that the only reason why my skin is so brown is because I'm a piece of shit.
There's more than one lesbian here because I'm married to a fucking pussy.
He's got a dick. I like him. This reminds me of the movie The Human Centipede, licking each other's asses
Hire
and
random
whatnot.
people for these
But
roles
it's
here.
loving.
I don't know. Oh, some other Facebook video that auto played. It's always some like satisfying video, like, but it'll be like 14 minutes of build up to nothing.
Yeah, it's the worst. Or it'll give you a part 2, which is the least satisfying thing ever.
That was really funny. Glad to watch it again.
Oh, were we gonna look for the game?
Oh yeah. You said it was sent to me on.
Well, they said it in the chat. Whatever. It might have been in the Discord. Do you have like a Discord channel?
The art channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we
what
watch
is this-
him.
What does this at me here? God damn it. Okay, yeah, that's not relevant. And this, here we go.
Skoogly.
Or
Skoogly?
Skoogugale.
Skoogale.
Skoogugale.
Uh,
Made with Unity. All right, you gotta play this.
I gotta play it?
Yep. Skoogly or how the internet might kill us all. Shade's a real gamer. I'm a
Press
shit
enter to
gamer.
begin experience. Okay. WASD?
Oh shit, it's in 3D. I was expecting like another Game Boy game because usually I'm requested to play Game Boy homebrews.
Oh my god. I would suggest putting like a dot, like kind of like a reticle, so I can tell where the center of the screen is. So we gotta. I'm assuming we've been trapped here, like some kind of prison. Holy shit, the sensitivity is high. Is that just your mouse?
That's just how I keep my mouse.
Is there like a shift to run? Oh, there is.
Neat. I couldn't tell how long that hallway was until you started running. Investigate
is.
white blob.
Yes.
Nothing.
Looks like a sugar cube.
It's just a.
All right, got a slope here.
curiosity.
I'm just falling.
Oh my, a new face in this of all place. Welcome to Skagaland. I am Skagagali, and I greet you with an amalgam of emotions approaching glee.
Yes, Omni King Skagagali, the formerly jubilant, spelled weird, upon his mobile immortality throne. Okay.
Okay. Am I in? Do I interact with you?
So he's like the purple blob, but the thing he's inside of, I think, is his throne. Can you jump?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah! What the
He's
fuck?
following you.
He followed me.
Jump on.
I didn't hear what
maybe
the
you
fuck
could
he
See
said.
if you could jump on Skoogly.
On him? On his
Yeah,
head?
see if you could jump on him.
I can.
Okay, so you could probably use him as a platform to get up to those other platforms.
Ooh.
Or the.
The mouse thing is crazy. That's where I came from.
Oh, that's the hole.
You said over here.
Puzzle that for me. Or you can game monitor that. Will it still sound staticky when you can hear us? That's not even on this.
I assume they can't hear us and are unable to respond. Maybe I.
Can you hear us now? Does it sound okay? It must be. How about now? How does this sound? Can you hear us now?
This sounds normal.
Okay. Okay, it's good now. I don't know what happened.
Oh.
Did the game crash?
I guess it did. Does this adjust sensitivity?
Yeah, the buttons adjust the sensitivity.
All right.
Okay, so I think the game audio had crashed. That buzzing you're hearing is the game audio.
Yeah, there is a buzz.
There
in
is
the
like
game.
a consistent buzz in the game. So if that was at least in that
Oh
starting
my,
area.
a new face in this of all place. Welcome to Skagagaland. I am Skagagali, and I greet you with an amalgam of emotions approaching glee.
The mushroom over top is making that jump a little
Okay,
difficult.
that might not be the solution here. See what happens if you go the other direction, I guess.
It does look like there's a whole fucking world
over
of
there,
wonders, yeah.
There's blue over that way, though. And green.
Once Skagagaland was a realm of creative peace.
all the same colored pixels like meshing together is destroying my eyes.
So grand is impossible to
What is he saying? There's like 4 different voice lines.
For all the subjects of
I'm guessing I ran straight through several triggers.
slain by machines of war most grim, of the population they did cruelly trim.
He's talking entirely in poems. Okay.
He's definitely like an Alice in Wonderland. Like
Now conversation could reach so far, it even got to old Galizar. For discussion reigned far more than even wise
Yes, so
could talk of the landscape, wondered not why.
I suppose my
We saw all good
question is,
signs.
should I be
We talked
holding
and
the
we
sprint
talked
to
all
run?
over those lines.
It seems like I'm running through triggers faster than he can say the line. So, like, would it be a better experience if I just walked normal pace so he didn't end up overlapping?
Probably.
I'll just walk a normal pace.
Our voices reached out both hither and yon. When it came to chatting, we were always on. Yet the further we rang, the less we soon knew who in Skagagaland our neighbors talked to. The talking grew muddled, as all talking does. The opinions took root on snout claws or fuzz. Our differences, though negligible, were brought to attention, and soon all Skagagaland was brought into tension. For though differences were minor, often overrated, our minds were made up, our opinions instantiated. For in every conversation a reality might blossom, and as that continued to happen, we
Got some
soon
human
learned
music
to
going on.
love them.
This is human music.
Oh, there's a little crab. Can I crouch? Doesn't seem like it.
The crab.
Ah! Okay, did he just go through things?
He's dedicated.
What a beastly creature.
Ah, but
You
of
might crouch.
course, was them, you
Plus, he
might
does crouch.
say, but it mattered to us little,
But
any
that
which way.
doesn't allow me to.
For them could be anyone, any day of the week, the strong, the churlish, the fuzzy, the weak.
Crouch jumping.
Harry always said this time store him is not red enough for
We hunted them all, sooners or laters.
Yeah.
As numbers dipped down, we then looked for traitors.
him.
And as it came to a game to but live I forever. For each and every line had by then gone slack. And of course get revenge on a particular writer. So I watch as he spins and try to make lots of other worlds buried so
I also
deep in
thought
his
of Amazing
thoughts.
Digital Circus earlier.
Skagagly curses his
Definitely has
cephalopotic
that vibe.
soul for bringing Skagagaland
If there's like a
into such
where I
toil.
get higher by crouching while jumping. 'Cause it feels like I go higher. Not angry.
And but so we're at our end. I'd like to think I've made a friend.
Or Amazing.
Or not quite so, I do not know. I hope you find a place to go.
This kind of feels like David Bowie now.
Interesting.
I
think he's like a Dr. Seuss combined with Alice in Wonderland.
There you are. Right that way. Do give me a call.
Weird that the stream
someday.
shows the cursor, but I don't.
I am so terribly lonely.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till Shade's done with this game.
Is there 2 paths?
Although I don't really know how to answer the question, am I an astrological lesbian? Because I don't know if that's more than just a random joke in that Brandon Rogers video.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good.
Thank Malruya. Oh, is there a platform? Ah, okay, there's stairs. I just couldn't see it from that angle. Oh man, I'm trying to find the right angle to read this. Okay, it's like a music credit for Myruya?
Myruja.
Crop Discord. Unity. Bunch of thanks.
Let's give thanks.
Is there anywhere else to
I'm gonna
go?
do my shout outs now.
Please do.
I'm just gonna hold your hand, did I? I'm not gonna pretend I can do all these lyrics.
Oh, continued to wander on. Googly went on to live forever.
Hey, nice. Eternal life. That's pretty good.
There you go. I couldn't really tell what the hell he was saying a lot of times. One of it kind of this rhyme. But you.
Kind of a jam.
The music was definitely one of the better aspects. Like little loops.
Yeah, I dig that bass jam at the end there. Boom, 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 type shit. I totally missed every note of that just now, but it's okay. It's close enough. Am I an astrological lesbian? Let's find out if there's any meaning to that beyond just a funny combination of words.
Well, first, are you lesbian? And then second, are you astrological?
While there's no definitive this is AI's answer from Google. No definitive astrological lesbian sign replacement. Some astrologers explore the connection between astrology and lesbian identity, often focusing on the influence of Neptune, Venus, in certain house placements. Okay, this is not a reliable answer. Your completely queer guide to horoscope hookups.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that's what I'm looking for either. I don't want to hook up. Placements in astrology.
Well, what are
found
you
in
looking
gay,
for
lesbian,
here?
and bisexual people.
Are you looking for the answer? Are you a lesbian because of astrology?
Lesbian astrology, love matches.
Did your
and
astrology make
compatibility.
you a lesbian? Is that
no, I was just wondering if there's like a term in like some community somewhere that is astrological lesbian that means something, you know? Like if I said something was like drill step, you'd be like, are you making that up or is there really drill step? You know, like I don't even know the answer to that question, by the way. I was making that up. I don't know if there is drill step.
I feel like there is.
Remember 2.5 hours ago when I was playing this Enneagram 9 video? I think we might continue it. Oh, that's right. You lowered my sensitivity. That's why it feels like I'm dragging my fucking mouse through the mud. I was like, what is wrong with this thing?
I mean, sensitivity was so high. It's like to try to play a first-person game is crazy.
I like to just use very subtle hand movements to, like.
Yeah. I mean, I used to be that way, and then I feel like it was like fucking on my wrist.
Probably. I don't play very many games though, so
yeah,
it doesn't affect me. I need it more for like editing. When you're doing something like really particular and small, you want that like super sensitivity so that when you just like barely are moving your finger,
I would think you want the opposite, right? Because then if it takes a lot more movement to make a small movement happen, you would be more precise. Because you could be like,
I think it's more about precision to my finger. Like that. I want when I move my finger for it to feel like it's moving exactly in step with the pace of my finger, as opposed to feeling like I'm dragging something around.
I suppose you are making this example with the wrong.
Like, here's the. Well, hold on. How do I slow it all the way? Is this as slow as it gets? It still feels kind of fast though.
Isn't much of a gamer these
It's
days.
not actually. I don't
think Trixie was ever
paint
that
changes the pace of the mouse to just be a certain pace actually, because it's not changing pace every time I change the speed. I think when you start drawing, it just like locks you into a certain drawing speed or something. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Mayhaps.
Why am I not much of a gamer these days? I really never was much of a gamer. I grew up with two little brothers, and we didn't always have we couldn't all play at the same time. So initially, we played when we were really young. We played a lot of multiplayer games. It was like a lot of Smash Bros, Phantasy Star, Pokemon Stadium, Mario Party, Mario Kart. Pretty much any multiplayer game on the N64 or the GameCube, we played a lot of. But then moving into Gen 6, I never really got into the Wii. And that was for me as a Nintendo fan, not getting into the Nintendo console was a pretty big, and I also didn't like open world games. I didn't like all the the free form, GTA style stuff. I had been into RPGs, and those kind of went to handhelds during that console generation, but I could never get into playing a long game on a handheld is weird to me.
It's the worst thing ever.
I like to just blast through a short game. I'll play the same game fucking 15 times, on a handheld, but it's got to be short. Jeff Dew once tried to tell me that the perfect way to play a JRPG is on the PS Vita, because you can play it, you take it everywhere with you and just bust out little parts of it. And I'm like, that's not how I want to play an RPG.
Yeah,
I want to be immersed. I want to be lost.
You want to play it for 8 hours at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to look down.
I want to forget that reality exists if I'm playing a JRPG.
The only games that work on handhelds are games like Monster Hunter, which you play for 30 minutes at a time pretty successfully.
I would say that the most of a gamer I ever was when I got really into JRPGs, but it was a struggle to ever get too deep into them. Usually for me, because I struggled with the mechanics. It's hard I'm just not that good at video games.
Yeah.
And what I was coming to games for was the story. Initially the first game I was ever interested in was Diddy Kong Racing. The appeal of that was it's cute little animals in a video game. I was at an age where my favorite thing was Winnie the Pooh, when I found out about Diddy Kong Racing. So that was the initial appeal, but then it was hard to actually get my hands on that game. And when Pokemon was out, because of the fact that Nintendo Power advertised Pokemon heavily, we ended up with Nintendo Power. And that's how I found out about Nintendo as a company and a culture, and started checking out all these Nintendo games based on the fact that they were reviewed well in the magazine. And so I ended up playing Ocarina of Time, which I personally was too complicated for me, but I watched Boyd play it, and that was the first time a story ever reached me. I realized that gaming could tell a story, it had never occurred to me that there was even an attempt, that there was like that games were trying to tell stories. I just had not even clocked in on that, like until watching him play Zelda, and that was a huge fucking influence on me. Like I basically decided to try doing creativity not long after like seeing Ocarina of Time, and being like emotionally affected by it. Mostly because of the time skip part, which like that cutscene felt like it was 20 hours long to me. Like where they're explaining to Link that you just,
it is pretty long.
Up. It's like 5 minutes long, but it felt like I had just watched a feature film because I had never seen anything like that as a kid, But it was pretty mind blowing. But then like in the sixth console generation, games got like, because it used to be that JRPGs were big games, and then other games were like relatively smaller. But then in the sixth console gen, it became that every game is huge, and JRPGs became like 200 hours and 200 characters and like just way more than I can handle, And then like regular games became 20-hour open world fucking extravaganzas, and like all of that is just, to me, it was just overwhelming. I was used to the GameCube where games are like relatively simple. Even then, I never beat any fucking games, Like I would play a game for a little bit and then, never get to the end of it because they're hard. Video games are hard generally. Like to beat a game, unless it's a really easy game, it's usually hard to beat, Most gamers never see the end of most games and they just don't talk about it. They just don't mention it,
I don't know if that's entirely true, but yeah,
it's true if you go by the statistics. Like, there's like tremendous fall off as you go through the game of like how far people actually make it in.
No, I mean like you can look at like Steam achievements and see, but it's like how much of that is just because they didn't like the game, but I don't know how much
sometimes you'll see like 50% of everybody got to the first boss, and then there's like 10% of everybody got to the final boss.
Well, yeah, but it usually is like they stopped liking it after the first. But I guess a better metric would be like the last couple bosses, how much the drop off happens. I don't play anything newer than 2013.
Malik Productions said there's fall off with almost every medium. So I think that's kind of, but not. It depends on how it's released. Video games have a problem of that I think video games have a problem of gamers expect games to be formatted the way they always have been, and they're very resistant to change to things like Life is Strange, that whole release model of like episodic. There's a bunch of games that have successfully done that, but I think the biggest thing holding them back is that people just don't like that is a format. People are like, I don't want it to be episodic.
I feel like you're talking from the perspective of people your age.
Okay, you think people your age don't care? They like the episodic games and stuff? Or?
I think it works. It's like, well, I think like
Five Nights at Freddy's probably broke a lot of ground with this too, of just being like this incredibly simple game, but they then made 6 of them, like
and they told like they added like a bunch of lore and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I mean, kids love fucking like random ass like long lore videos for some reason. Like Skibbity Toilet is like 300 episodes long. It's got a bunch of lore.
The point I'm making with that though is like with Five Nights at Freddy's, there's not only not a fall off because the game's not long like it doesn't require you to go to some extreme length to beat it, but also every single game was more popular than the last one. Where like it just kept building momentum, kept building steam, because it's not something that is expected to go off and spend 60 hours on this and then come back, in 3 years. It's like you can just have it as a part of your life, like a TV show. And I was thinking about like most TV shows actually like hit their biggest numbers at the season finale. Like they don't generally have a fall off unless the show sucks, if it's going downhill. But if it's building up hype, usually a bunch of people start catching up to it as it's going, and then the finale is the most ratings. Which is why a lot of shows started doing that split season thing where they just go away and come back, because the premiere and the finale will always have the highest numbers. So you can just literally make, like if you have a 12 episode season and you just break it in half, you're going to have 4 big episodes instead of 2. It's just the way it works. It's dumb, but it's human psychology, So like there's not always a fall off, but video games have badly prepared themselves to deal with fall off, because ultimately the game is for people who are going to play it 100 times. Like ideally the game is like made for people who are going to play it 100 times, and the other people who only get 2 hours in, you shouldn't even be thinking about them. Like the game's not for them. They're just going to end up playing it on accident, but like, but if the expectation is that this is a thing that's going to be consumed 100 times, it means that everybody who cares about it has to be obsessed with it. Otherwise it like, you can't, somebody who's obsessed with the game can't talk to somebody who's not obsessed with that game. The conversation just won't go anywhere,
Yeah, that is true.
Like imagine you trying to talk to somebody who only played like 3 hours of Dark Souls, like and then quit. You'd be like, oh,
I have
man.
to imagine.
Yeah.
I've done that plenty of times.
Yeah, exactly.
It's usually that I place myself into their shoes, and then I only talk about the simplest of concepts after realizing how like just how little they know.
Yeah.
Or I'll just be like, oh yeah, do you remember the like fat thing with the hammer? Yeah, that guy. And then it's like if I talk to somebody that I know, I'm like, well, you have the stray demon, and then you have the asylum demon.
Yeah, that's way too much. That's already like, wait, what do you mean? What's the difference? Why are they? Well, see, they're the same actually, but you can come back and it's the same guy, but he's not the same guy because his name is different and he's stronger.
Well, it is a different guy. He was under the first guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's just
So when you leave the jail, you look to the right into the jail cell to your right.
And that's the stray demon.
That's the stray demon.
Yeah, and then
the other one is a different demon.
Makes sense. See, both of us had like a literal visual in our mind. When you said, when you look to your right in the jail cell, I could in my head picture, oh yeah, I can see it in my brain. Literally how it looks. And like if you could probably have played the game and not remembered that, or just not even noticed. You have to actually turn to the right to see that, like.
Yeah, if you didn't hear the footsteps, then is why I love Sonic games. What about this? What about this has to do with Sonic games? I actually need you to tap that out.
Faster, go,
as in like the amount of stuff that's on the sides to notice, or like that you just know so much about Sonic games. I'm very curious now.
Am I an astrological lesbian? Did we ever sort that out?
Are you a lesbian?
I don't think.
I'm being called.
You are being summoned.
Hello?
Can I get a...
Ow, wow, wow. Ow, wow, wow.
Right into the microphone, please.
Wait. Ow, wow, wow, wow.
Do you think I should keep this stream going? It's already 4 o'clock. Wait,
I mean, do you have anything else to cover?
Did Bird get up for work yet?
I don't think I heard anything. Honey, did you hear Bird get up?
Nope.
All right, I'm going to go check on Bird. I'm going to end the stream here. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming out.
Let's go.